Live. We're live.
It's alive.
It's alive.
We're doing it. We're doing it. What are we calling this? What are we calling this?
This is
a
the
podcast? Is it a podcast?
This is RH Live, man.
RH Live.
This
yes.
is RH Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, we're RH Live. Hey, we're RH Live.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're making it happen. All right. Let's see here. So we have our Steam Deck. All right, and we're setting that up there.
It's a good setup. I like. It's a good setup. The angle, everything looks good. Everything looks good.
Yeah, that blue backdrop. Yeah, that blue backdrop's really well. I think it works really well.
Yeah, I thought the blue might. So it looks like I'm about maybe 5 or 6 seconds behind here. So here's my hand, and then it's out. 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is.
We're living in the future. We're living in the future.
So sorry if you guys are a little bit behind, but we're good now. Okay. So, Russ, you put out your first impressions video on your Steam Deck. How did it feel in your hands? Because for me, it feels nice. Like I have these monster hands. It's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, what size gloves do you usually wear? Like if you're gonna get like disposable gloves, like disposable gloves.
XXL.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm a medium. Yeah, I'm a medium. It still feels good to me. And it still feels good to me.
Okay, yeah. This is like the most comfortable handheld so far. The Odin was extremely comfortable, but this is like made to fit ogre hands or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's downright. Yeah, it's downright by comparison.
It is. It really is. Oh, well, so we've got some of my tools here. I went ahead and laid them out instead of digging through the boxes and everything. We've got a screwdriver, simple Phillips head screwdriver, tweezers just in case we drop stuff, and then we've got some stuff to open up the case with. This little teeny tiny thing that I have in my hand here, this is all it is. That's it. That's the whole hard drive. That's 512 gigabytes on there of NVMe storage. And then
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Then we have this. This is a USB flash drive that I have flashed with the Steam OS already. And I have the USB-C to USB-A adapter on it. So there we go.
Said
Echo. Russ and Stubbs. All right, let me disable one of the audio streams. Here we go. All right, Zoo, is that any better? Can you hear both Russ and Stubbs?
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going today?
Okay.
How are we?
Better.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Good. Okay. So before we get started, before I start digging in here, is there anything you guys want me to check out? We've got Zoo and Jay to the Bell. Anything you want me to show off on the exterior? Because this is pretty cool. I like the texture on here.
Oh, Thor. Wait.
What's up?
And I know I saw it in Russ's video, but can I see the back again real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Can I see the back?
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Let me see those fingerprints right there. Let me see.
I don't really feel like there's a ton of fingerprints on here. It's mostly just skin oil. It's not fingerprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like skin oils. Right. That's probably a better description. Yeah.
This is like an RGB 10 Max.
Yeah, the texture is unique because it's both slick and gritty. Like it's not matte in any way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost industrial feeling, you know.
It is.
Compared to like a really comfortable handheld.
It is.
Okay. All right. I like that. It's not too bad. Like you don't feel when you're feeling the back doesn't feel greasy to you. It feels like a nice kind of.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It feels like the internals of like a car. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of plastic.
Yeah, like a dashboard texture almost, but like a smaller version of it. It's nice. It's nice.
So you kind of close your eyes and you're like, I'm driving a Tesla right now.
Yeah.
Okay. To go down the Steam highway. Okay.
Oh man.
Like sorry, continue.
No.
I like the white accents on the joysticks.
Yeah, it's like a muted gray, and the ABXY is about the same color as well. So everything's gray or black, but pretty much everything's black.
People are going to love that. It's very just modern looking.
It is. It is super modern looking. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the screen because it is 800p, and I got used to the Odin with the 1080, you know?
Well, and you got the base model, right? So the 64 gig eMMC, and the screen's a little different, right? With yours versus what Russ has, and he has the higher end.
Yeah, he has the etched glass, the one that doesn't have all this glare. Like you can clearly see my reflection in my Cactar shirt in this thing, right?
Yeah, but isn't that a bonus to not have the etched glass, to have that IPS look, or is it?
We'd have to compare. We'd have to compare screens, Russ and I, like side by side or side by side against like a 552 or something like that, something with a good screen.
Yeah, so I did some reviewing of recording of the Aya Neo, which has the same display size and resolution. It's different. You know, there's a more muted kind of look to it on the Steam Deck, and the colors are just a little bit less vibrant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how it doesn't just like reflect everything. It just also doesn't pop. You can't have both. You know what I mean? And so I'm not sure which one I like better. I got to look back at the footage, I think.
And we need like a direct comparison. That's cool.
Jada the Bell asked what the interior of my case was, and it's black. This is, I think, only the big boy versions got that like special textured case, right, Russ?
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense. I didn't realize there was a distinction until I saw yours, but I really like the case on the high end one. It feels really high end.
Didn't you say that how much would you pay for it?
I'd say $50, $75.
Yeah,
like
50.
The way I just paid like $75 for a leather case, not even leather, a waxed canvas case for my Odin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this thing is much more travel friendly. Like it's crazy.
I would say that this case I would probably pay $40 or $50 for it as is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's nothing amazing, but it's a really soft texture inside. I don't feel like anything's going to screw anything up. It's completely form fitting. And then this was crazy. This right here, this little strap on the back that you can put on like luggage or something like that. They make travel backpacks with that strap on the back so you can put it on the handle of your rollaway luggage.
I like that.
Yeah, they put that on there so you can like put a backpack on your luggage and then put this on top of it or something. I don't know.
But like I was saying in my review video or my impressions video, some PC gaming master race guy is going to see that and he's got a third quarter reservation and just going to take it right out of your luggage because everyone knows what that case is.
Yeah, they see the logo and he's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And luckily though, the Steam Deck is so big that you can just grab onto it tightly and then use it as a weapon in defense. If someone trying to take it, you're like, hell no.
If you were like swinging this thing around, I don't think it could kill somebody in the case, but you could definitely brain somebody. Like you could send them to the hospital for sure. It's hefty with that thing in there.
Yeah, we'll have to do a fight test with it eventually.
Fight test?
We'll get there when I get mine.
Yeah.
We'll do a fight test.
All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Do you guys want me to?
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted me to cover with the exterior hardware?
I did want to make a comment about your little EMCC or your NVMe storage thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just ridiculous. That's 512 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's that little teeny tiny thing. For comparison, This is my oldest jump drive that I still use, and that's 16 gigabytes.
Yeah.
All right, that's how far we've come, and that's NVMe, not flash storage.
Right. So I in the late 90s, long story, but basically I was way ahead in credits in high school, and so they let me go to a vocational school for a year, where basically I learned how to put together computers. This is back in like 386 days,
right?
And we had 3.5-inch drives back then, and 40 megabytes was a big deal. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and so we're at 512 gigs. I remember when the first gigs hard drives came across, and we're like, what are we going to put on all this? You know what I mean? And now we're at 512 in that form factor. It's just amazing.
I remember when Unreal Tournament 2004 came out, right? Mm-hmm. And that was, back during the Counter-Strike days and stuff. And it was like 1.3 gigabytes. And we were all going, Jesus Christ, how? Yeah. How is that possible?
We've come a long way. I mean, we are just so spoiled these days. Once again, it's dumb. Can you imagine if we had this when we were kids? I'm just going to keep saying that.
No. I mean, we're already spoiled as it is, you know.
Like, I already don't want to leave the house. Like, I never want to leave the house already. But can you imagine as a kid? Like, I'd never leave.
No.
I'd be all pale and pasty and, oh, man, it'd be terrible.
Yeah, your mom would have to, like, slowly peel you off the couch.
Let's see. Jay to the Bell asked, do you know if the deck supports more than 512 if you want to go even bigger? Absolutely. I think there are 2230 size, the same size. M2 drives are 2 terabytes, but they are expensive. Like, they're as expensive as a deck. So I got this 512 Kingston upgrade on DigiKey for $100 shipped. So I have the 64 gigabyte version now with the 512 for $399 plus 100 plus 30 for shipping. Thank you, sweetheart. My darling wife just brought me a beverage.
Nice.
So, all right, let's get started. So there are 8 screws on the back here, right? There are 4 longer ones, and then there are 4 shorties, but make sure you take out your SD card. This little Samsung is lousy with ROMs already, so should be easy to set up later on.
And you're supposed to be able to tear this whole thing down with just one screwdriver, right?
Yes, you can tear it down with a screwdriver, but you really should use separators to get the edges out. So,
okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 long screws out. Zoo Perler,
you guys will have to forgive me, but I'm actually recording Steam Deck footage right now while I'm talking. But I finally figured out my capture card, so it's not like I'm like filming with a camera. I'm just, it's plugged into my PC now.
That's awesome. Zoo Perler asked,
you're multitasking.
Here's the big question. Is this an emulation beast?
It's an emulation monster.
No, it
right.
I mean, beast is, yeah.
I refuse to use the word beast, but yes, it is amazing.
This is an emulation boss, is what it is. At the very least.
So to give you a perspective, I'm right now testing Champions of Norrath, which I've tested out on, the Ioneo, the Odin, and a couple others. And so typically you can only play it at 1x resolution, and you have to do all those hacks that you need to do within Aether PSX2 or whatever. Mm-hmm. But on this one, I'm not just using the default settings, which I have set to right now, which is 2x resolution, so 720p, and it's playable. I mean, I need to put it down to native resolution probably to make it 100% smooth, but I'm getting a variable for rate of like 55 to 60.
Something to
That's
note
amazing.
is it's kind of difficult to see with this angle with the blue, but they do have some of the blue thread locker on these.
Oh, okay.
So
they didn't cheap out.
No, this isn't cheaped out. They didn't put the receiving like grommets, the metal like brass receivers in it, so it does feel like it's still screwed in and threaded into the plastic, but that's not a big deal. That's what everybody does.
They clearly had in mind that people are going to be opening up and closing their Steam Decks on multiple occasions.
I don't know about multiple occasions, but they definitely didn't put a lot of things in our way. How about that?
That's good. A little different than like a Retroid Pocket or something, where it's like,
even
there's
the
a 50% chance you're going to snap a screw.
Well, not even the screws; those damn clip tabs around the edge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
If you're opening an RP2, you're going to snap a clip.
You're gonna do it.
You're gonna.
So let's see.
I did.
Squirtle Boys, where did you get these tools and the blue pad from? Amazon, and I'll put links in the description afterwards. But they were pretty cheap. The blue pad, I really like this. I have another one that's gray that is safe to solder on, but this one has so many different areas for parts and this safe, secure storage and stuff. It's way better. And then the kit itself I like it better than the iFixit kit personally. but I have a preference for my tools, so maybe I can't be counted on for that.
Yeah, I do the iFixit kit as well.
Yeah,
I haven't
same.
tried the full range, but
Mm-hmm.
man, I mean, it has everything you need as far as I can tell. So you're set there.
So
all right, so what's next?
Here's where it was suggested to me to use as an entry point, is up here at the top around these edges. And I kind of had to do this with the Odin as well, but to get your hooked separator in there, right? Like that. And then there we go. Oh, that's so easy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that was easy. Dang.
You made that
Hey,
look so easy.
Look at that. Just popping that right out.
Yeah. So it's a little awkward on
Oh.
camera. Sorry for my giant hands being in the way this whole time. But
Have you opened this up before?
no.
No?
No, that came right.
No.
Seriously.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Mr. Faust is like, Russ is going to yell at you for not using the official RGC green cutting pad.
I have that, but I figured with because we were talking about the black looking not great on green, right? Like the being kind of difficult to film.
Yeah.
I figured since
It messes with the white balance.
since most of the devices I get are in fact black, that I would go ahead and get a black cutting mat, so more of the stuff would be balanced.
And also, Mr. Faust, okay, and Super Zoo, in Thor's defense, that black and white cutting mat matches the color scheme of the Steam Deck. It's very well matched, okay. And
well,
the blue.
Yeah, in more practical terms, though, the every time anyone uses the green mat, it's trademarked by me at this point, and
Right.
so you have to pay me a
legally
royalty.
speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's how I make all my money, is other people using a green mat on their videos.
Oh man.
So
I got to be honest with you guys. This is about the easiest thing I've ever opened like this. Jeez. And that was on camera too.
Wow. That was really super sleek and
Yeah.
simple. And with something that's so big like that, it's got to be just a little bit easier to sort of manhandle and pull off.
Yeah.
You're not having to deal with those little tiny parts.
The difficulty
I don't want
here-
to. I don't break a plastic tab. And
The difficulty here was definitely doing it under the camera.
that is a beautiful looking setup too. The PCB is amazing.
Yeah,
it is.
This is really, really impressive electrical engineering.
Wow.
Where like the Odin Pro is much simpler inside, right?
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. The Odin Pro is much simpler inside. This is a lot busier, more like an Ambernick handheld, but you can tell the quality of it. I mean, the matte black on the motherboards and stuff and the daughter boards it looks fantastic. They really, really gave a crap, is what I'm saying.
And look at the size of that honking battery too.
Yeah, that's a big boy. This L shape right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to figure out if I want to claw that. So there's a screw under here, right? There's a screw over here and one right here. So there should be 3 screws to take this off, this plate. And underneath that is the hard drive spot. So I got to figure out if I want to scrape it away with my fingernail like an animal, because all that is there for is like warranty protection, which I'll fix this thing myself or blow it up. I might get some tannerite. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely talk to your neighbor Dwayne, see if we can get some tannerite for cheap.
Hell yeah.
He owes you. He owes you.
Dwayne's got all of it, man. I'm surprised
Yeah.
he's not out there doing it right now.
Yo, Thor, I heard you need some tannerite. Here we go.
I'm going to tell him I gave him a shout out on the podcast and he'll be like, what's a podcast? You're on the YouTubes? Really, man? Yeah, Dwayne.
I don't know. Somebody the other day said we were YouTubers now. I'm like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Russ is a YouTuber.
Russ is definitely a YouTuber.
We're just idiots that talk a lot, I think.
I just get on my computer to organize my ROM library. Sometimes I turn the mic on.
Yeah, I'm a very reluctant YouTuber. I really started, making a website first, and it just kind of blew up, you know. And now I find that I have less time to do website stuff, which is really what I wanted to do, make it like a living document, you know.
Yeah, I know. And you're saying you're going to get more focus on that. I guess there's more news to come soon about that.
Yeah, I think I need to step it up a little bit, organize a little bit better, and so hopefully we can make it a little more robust in the future.
Yeah. Oh, because it looks terrible as is, right? It's just horribly organized, not well researched.
It's like 1998, like someone like a junkyard from 1998. That's what it is.
Let's be honest. You set the baseline standard for retro written stuff, basically. Oh, absolutely. You and Wagner's Tech Talk is also excellent. Got to throw a shout out to Wagner.
Oh yeah, he's definitely what I looked at when I first got started. I was like, okay, I want to do something like this, you know.
Yep.
And, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just writing recipes is all I'm doing. Just doing it with tech stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. Texapes. Yeah.
So yes, it does. And you were right, Russ. It does look like you can do all of this with one screwdriver.
That's awesome.
But these screws are different. There's two smaller ones that go on the case edges, and then there's this wider one that was under the aluminum tape. There we go. All right. So under here we've got some not very sticky thermal padding. I'm not going to try to touch them a whole lot. All right, but just to conduct on all this with the heat pipe and everything. This is really cool. This is a really cool design for this, I think.
Yeah.
It's really very nice to look at. So what are you doing now? What's coming off now?
So what's coming off right now is this is the EMMC, all right? And it looks like this screw is the same as the other screw, but I'm going to keep them separate just in case. This right here, and this is it. I mean, this is the swap. This is the actual EMMC. This comes right out like that, all right? And there's this little bit of electromagnetic shielding around it that we take off. So that way,
there we go.
That way it doesn't get disrupted, right?
Uh-huh.
And then we swap them out. Make sure you put this EM shielding back on here, okay? As best you can, at least.
That is sleek.
Yeah, I might have to put this up in my face in just a second, just so you know. Sorry, guys.
You're enamored right now.
I am enamored.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
You're enamored and a little confused.
Confused?
Well,
no, not confused.
Not confused. You're just trying to get it to.
Would be maybe a little.
You're aroused strangely.
Yeah.
Your senses.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter the orientation for this thing. It's just as long as those chips are covered somehow, you know. You got this. Just like that. That looks like great. That. Oh man, thank you so much for your help.
Kind of stuff it
just
right in there.
More. You got it.
You got it. You can just push it now. Just push
it to the left.
You're looking great.
Thank you.
I like supervising. This is fun. I shouldn't be allowed to do this legally speaking, but this is great. Okay, now a little bit more. Yeah.
No. So let's see here.
You have to.
I might have to unpeel it and restick it. How about that?
All right. I can email Gaben and
yo, bro.
See if there's any tips. You know what? I emailed Gaben like 2 weeks ago, and he has not personally emailed me back yet.
The monster.
I know. It's like he's busy. Doesn't have time to answer
it's like
questions.
Busy. That's what you just said. All right.
All I said, hey.
That's definitely going to be my suggestion coming out. Instead of trying to slip it on, just take it off and restick it. How's that?
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. That's the way.
Much easier. That's good.
Yeah, Jaded the Bell. Yeah, this is a lot easier than a lot of people are going to think it is. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're like done with this stream. See you guys later.
Yeah, bye. They were originally
Bye-bye.
talking about gluing these in, and people were like, no, don't do that. We want to upgrade our shit. And so they were like, all right.
And Bill says he's concerned that you don't have a electrostatic wrist guard on.
Yeah, I'm good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. You got socks on or barefoot
I'm sitting with my ass on a couch. I'm touching nothing other than the Steam Deck right now.
You got carpet down there? Or you got hardwood or? Okay, good. You're not generating static.
Are you asking me something sexy? Like, what are you talking about?
I am concerned. I'm voicing the concern of the community that you might build up a static charge that will electrocute your precious deck.
If I was gonna just start destroying electronics like that, I would have done that 15 years ago. Although it would be pretty amazing if that happened, though, wouldn't it? Like, this is the time.
I know. Of all things, it's not like we've had any tech issues so far today or this week. None. No, I'll knock on wood. It'll boot up fine. It'll be good.
It'll be good.
Great. I see you got that 256 gigabyte Samsung Evo over there ready to. That'll be nice.
A buttload of those, man. You know, doing that. Let me pull this out here real quick because people might want to get one themselves.
Oh, now we got Dollar Bill in here.
Yeah.
He wants us to differentiate between the bills.
So, we use enough SD cards with retro handhelds and stuff that I actually bought a dedicated micro SD card case.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I literally bought one of those today as well for no apparent reason.
Good.
Yeah, no apparent reason.
Just to keep track of it because
It looks great.
Damn. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's ones you can get with labels too, so you can write what's actually on each card.
Let's see if I destroyed it. No.
Here we go. Moment of truth.
It's not destroyed. All right.
I see like a speck of dust right in the middle, though.
That's actually like some kind of tiny artifact. It's not actually on the screen.
Okay. All right. Well, we're good.
It's like maybe like a little tiny reflection or glare. I know Russ is shocked that I have a little bit of glare on this screen, but
no, it's all good. So you're planning on using a 256 gig card, or like a really big one, or what are you thinking?
So I have the 256 gigabyte card in here, but
hey, Victor.
Thor killed the Steam Deck. Thanks, Victor. Thanks, bud. No, I have the 256. I'm probably going to end up with maybe a 512 in it. It depends on read speeds of higher end emulation games like PS2 and Switch and stuff like that. So if I'm getting a measured performance increase with Yuzu, using the NVMe, then that's where I'm going to put all my Switch games and probably my PS2 games.
Yeah, I'm torn. I bought a 1 terabyte just to have it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like the idea of kind of having different cards for different reasons,
Yeah.
And that overall would save a lot more money.
Well, these NVMe upgrades are, like I said, the 512 was $100. It's easy peasy, but the 1 terabyte is like $350 and the 2 terabyte is like $500 from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't scale, and you can only use single-sided 2230 chips. So like this doesn't have anything on the back side, right? That's because that's the flat side. You can't have double-sided chips where they have the storage on both sides.
Yeah.
So that's probably pretty important to point out. All right, so got the back off.
Nice.
We got to the SSD.
2 questions for you from the Discord side of the house. One, Mega Barracuda wants to know what the mouth feel is like.
The
What does it
mouth
taste
feel.
like?
The mouth
Yeah.
feel.
What is?
Do I actually need to
Have you
get
tried
under the camera
biting?
and lick this thing? Is that
Don't
what's-
lick it. That's weird.
That's
Just take like a
mouthfeel.
light bite out of it.
Oh, bite. All right.
Can you fit your mouth around the Steam Deck? I didn't think
Oh
you'd
my
actually
gosh.
do it. Oh, you are the only human being on this planet who has done that.
To lick
By the way.
a Steam Deck on Livestream? Hell yeah.
Now we got to
Not
put
at
an age
all.
restriction on this.
I am. That is too sexy.
All right, hold down
Thank you.
the
Mega
the
Barracuda
volume.
will be I'm gonna let him know you did that. Sebion also wants to know: does the fan exhaust have a pleasant smell?
All right, so Sebian, I saw him ask that earlier, right? And I am one of those people that smell the exhaust because I want to know what the chips smell like because I'm a weirdo like that.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's a thing. So you smell the magic, right? You make sure that there's no magic smoke or there's no magic coming out of it, you know?
Correct. Yeah, you don't want any dark wizard spells or like anything to mess up your Steam Deck. Yeah, I got it.
This is not what I signed up for when I said I'd come on here. My gosh.
What, you
All right,
didn't
man.
think
I know-
you'd see a Steam Deck get licked? Come on.
You know
When
that
smelling the exhaust. It's like
you know
PC
that-
farts.
Yeah.
Hashtag PC farts. Quote of the century by Retro Game Core. You know what you get into when you come on a podcast or a thing with us. Like, we're ridiculous. We try to be professional, but we can't help but be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? Young, spry, 36-year-old men.
Okay. Spry. Yeah, that's the word I'm going to use for me. I got off the couch the other day and thought, oh,
We're
man,
basically going on 15
my neck
now.
hurts.
Maturity level is at a kindergarten level. All right, what's next?
What next is...
Does it taste like Cheetos? No, we're
No,
not
it does
starting
not
that
taste
again,
like
Victor.
Cheeto.
Not even gonna mention the word.
So I see
So-
the Croster asked about the 1X player handheld.
I want to know
there
your
we go.
thoughts on that.
So,
I don't want to air out dirty laundry, but I will say that they reached out to me and asked to send me one. I said, yeah, totally. I want to do all sorts of comparisons. Like, this is perfect, right? And then they emailed back and said, can you just make one video and then send it back? And I was like, it's not how I work. Like, I make like 10 videos for every device, you know? And so I need them for comparisons and everything else. And so I ended up saying, sorry, maybe when I'm more popular and you guys can just send me one that I can use for 10 videos. But
right.
it's all good.
Well, I've wondered about 1X player and especially the 1X player mini. I don't know. Like, we already have Aya Neo. It's a lot to take in, and the Win 3. It's like who could possibly even get? I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this thing here real quick and explain it. So I'm really used to Android devices where you press one device and then hold down another, or press one button, hold down another, right, to do stuff. In order to boot from the USB, you have to hold both the volume down and the power button at the exact same time, and the device will go bloop and start up. So just a heads up.
Okay.
So we'll see if it boots now. Uh-oh.
Hey, Stubbs, I'm having a hard time hearing Thor. Are you having the same problem?
Same thing. His mic
Oh,
got
okay.
switched to different input.
Okay.
I think
There we go.
Is my mic okay now?
your mic got switched to that to like your webcam mic or something else.
Oh, on Skype?
Yeah, I think it's like your Bluetooth headphones or something.
Oh. Weird.
So for those of you who didn't hear what Thor said, well, I think what he said was he's talking about how, you know, in order to get into like boot mode, if you wanted to like boot into a USB drive or an SD card, for the Steam Deck, you have to press volume up plus the quick access menu button, which is the
Volume
3.1. I think it's volume up. You do volume up, then quick access menu, and then the power button in order to get there. And then you have to only, at least when I was doing it with Bottasera yesterday, you have to only press it briefly Like you can't hold it down. You basically, as soon as you hear the beep, you're supposed to let go of it. And that took me a while to figure out.
Yeah.
You sound better now, Thor.
You do sound normal now.
Well, I should still be good on the live stream, but I think it was just Skype.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, ignore us. Yeah, we're.
Oh no, I want you guys to hear it too. I want you to feel involved. You know, you guys are watching.
We are.
Lick the Steam Deck. I mean, we're
I'm
brothers
having the
now.
time,
You know,
I'm having the time of my life. Okay, like I have no responsibility here. I'm just yapping away. This is great. I don't have a Steam Deck. What can I offer? I'm just gonna ask silly questions.
how long did Batacero take to start up?
It's about a minute and a half or so.
Okay.
It's still got plenty of issues. The screen's not sizing correctly. One of the developers sent me a special upgraded build. I just haven't had a chance to try it. I'm going to try it tonight. And yeah, I'm hoping that can fix some things. Because not only that, I mean, the controller only barely works. And when you try to actually play a game, it just crashes. So there's that too. But either way, it's a really great sign that it even just boots at all. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool. I keep trying to get into Batacera. I'm just a noob. I can never get the audio to work for some reason.
they fixed that now. If you use a more recent version, you don't have any of those issues, which is pretty awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try it again because I love the look of it. It looks so good, and I love that's the unified front end. You don't have to launch these standalone emulators.
What another cool thing with Batacera 32, I think, which I think they're on 33 now, but starting with 32, they now allow you to install Linux-based Steam games directly from Steam via Flatpak. And so all you do is you basically set up Flatpak, takes a minute, and then you log into your Steam account. You have to have like a USB mouse or something like that to kind of navigate that. And then you can just browse your Steam library within Batacera, install your games, and just play them. And obviously not every game is going to be Linux-based, but a lot of them, like, you can play like Shovel Knight and things like that. Like, they all have Linux versions. And so, there's quite a few games you can play for old stuff like that.
That is really cool. And speaking of Steam games too, have you seen the Humble Bundle for the Ukraine today? That was you get like $2,700 worth of like awesome Steam games for $40. I mean, you get like, what is this? Not the Boomer Bundle. Like a bunch of like modern gen games for a ridiculous price. Back 4 Blood was on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's $40 on its own. So I don't do a lot of humble bundles, but it's a really good one. So 123 games.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up. One thing I've noticed, this is kind of off topic, but I switched over the AYN Odin to Windows with the help of Thor. Thank you, Thor. And it actually is surprisingly like nice for indie games. And so, I recently bought the Ukraine bundle from itch.io. And a lot of those little games play really well on the Odin. And so I have like hundreds of these games that I can now just test out. And so, sure, the Odin can be used for emulation and things like that. But if you're looking for like just a dedicated indie, like little handheld machine, like this thing's amazing. Like if you were to get the Odin Lite, maybe, well, I don't know if that'll boot into Windows, but even the Odin base, you know what I mean? You'd be able to do that. And so it's opening up a whole new world. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to Android at some point. We'll see. Like I got enough things to play Android games on. You know what I mean? But no, I get it. It's nice to have the option to boot Windows, and I'm definitely going to try it the next Pro I get in. But the amount of games you get from these bundles is just I don't know when I'm going to find time to play it. Now like my Windows games are becoming like my ROM libraries. It's just overwhelming. You got to cultivate and figure out what you want to even play. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the Steam Deck, Thor, and just dump it in your trash can.
Okay.
Let's just switch the rest of the live stream into an Odin video. And let's kind of dig into some itch.io games. Let's dig into some of these bundles. It's my vote.
The
No,
problem with the itch.io ones is that a lot of them do not distinguish whether or not they're 32 or 64-bit, because 64-bit games will not play well at all. You need a 32-bit game or something that will run with Vulkan. And so,
okay.
And so for that reason, it's just hit or miss. Each of them are only like 100 megs. So you download one and you're like, maybe this one will work. And sometimes it's flawless and sometimes it's garbage.
And that's half the fun.
Yeah.
I can tell you that this new the bundle for Humble bundle, Ukraine bundle today, a lot of bundles, has Spyro Reignited trilogy and like Fable Anniversary. Quantum Break is an awesome game from Remedy.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. I don't know. So what's next on the what here, Thor?
So I'm trying to figure this out. I think maybe my USB drive might not have flashed correctly.
Okay.
So I'm trying to confirm that I'm getting into the right menu setting and all that kind of stuff,
Okay. Yeah. Make sure it's all good.
What is on the USB drive?
What's that?
What's on the USB drive?
The SteamOS files.
Oh.
So I use
right. Because you need to flash that onto there. Yeah,
because it's an empty drive right now.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah, we got to get all the default stock
I
stuff
didn't even
back
think about
on.
it. I'm like, oh yeah, we're done.
Yeah. Okay, new hard drives in.
Yeah. So you can see there I have a mouse on the screen.
Oh, that's what that is. Wow.
Yeah. So
You got something. I mean, that's more than the BIOS you get with a normal computer build when you swap a drive.
So I'm trying to let it boot and go, but it seems like it may be taking a little bit too long. So I'm just going to leave it alone now.
Well, I got questions in the meantime.
What's up?
Well, Jay to the Bell asks, Russ, do you know if you can do GOG or other Linux games in Batocera? You already answered that, so I'm just going to skip right on.
Well, I only talked about the Steam side. I think that you can manually install Linux games through Flatpak directly. I'm not super smart on Linux stuff, obviously. But Batocera Nation is a YouTube channel where he's been diving really deep into this stuff. So I would check out his channel, and I'm sure he's got a video on it. He's got some amazing stuff on there.
Yeah, I've been there. That's who helped me get up and running with my living room PC for Batocera. Cool channel. And also
screws back in while I'm waiting for it to hopefully boot correctly.
Come on, Steam Deck. That sounds good. Nil asks, Russ, are you going to cover the new RP2 Plus update, the 0.8 update?
Yeah, it's going to be a while though, because I got a Steam Deck in my hands. Two, I'm like 90% done with my AYN Odin Windows video and guides and stuff like that, and so that I'm going to focus on that after I get done with all this Odin content. And then, I can jump into the RP2 Plus. Although, I just got a package in the mail today of the Black V90 from Powkitty and their new, RGB 10S or whatever. I have
it's
those
in there?
too. Yeah. And
you
so
got your RGB 10S in?
Yeah, so I might take a detour and make just a quick video on one of those. Probably the RGB 10S because that one seems interesting.
Yeah, the 10S is interesting. That was that red stick as red as it looks. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So I peeked inside the box and it's tiny. Like it is so small. Like the whole device is super small. So I'm actually pretty excited. It looks to be about the same size as the RGB 10, but maybe a little smaller.
Here's the real question. Is it the ultimate 3326 device?
That's what we'll find out.
That's what
I want to find out too, because the Max 2 seems like so far that's the best one, at least according to your videos. But for me, like I want the screen resolution smaller because the 3326 doesn't output very much power, as we all know. And so getting it in as small of a form factor as possible seems like it would be really awesome.
I have a feeling though that because it's not a 640 by 480 display, it's a 3:2 aspect ratio screen like the original 351p and the RGB 10 and stuff.
Yep. Right.
I might have a hard time going back to that screen. We'll see how it goes. But,
hey,
that's my concern.
I still love the 351p. So I mean, I think it's a contender. Mine shows up from AliExpress on Monday, I want to say. So I'll get mine in a couple days. I skipped on the V90. The black edition, because I'm collecting all white consoles now. I have some OCD theme. I'm attempting to like limit my purchases with the theme. But that'll be interesting also. But I can't wait to see what your thoughts are on the 10S.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the 10S is just a reskin of the 10. ArcOS is still getting support from Christian Haitian, the developer. So you should be able to just jump directly into ArcOS, like a SD card swap, basically, with an RGB10, which means that you're going to have Portmaster.
It's alive.
Immediately.
It's alive.
Hey,
yes, lieb.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go.
What are we doing?
We're gonna go to reimage Steam Deck. Like you can, if you're just reinstalling SteamOS because like you're setting stuff back to factory, right? You can do that. But we want to reimage.
Yeah. Get it nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Like something that's fresh.
Like something that's fresh.
Dollar Bill
fresh,
wants
so
to
it's
know.
fresh.
Dollar Bill wants to know, Thor, what's your favorite RPG and why is it Legend of Dragoon?
Well, to answer the first part, I think that my favorite RPG is probably the Sony Computer Entertainment America Classic Legend of Dragoon that was released on PlayStation.
Yes.
And because it's amazing, that's why.
Yes. That is the correct answer. However, the incorrect game. The correct game would be Star Ocean 2 for the PlayStation 1. Sir. Thank you. I'll take Legend of Dragoon as a close second, though.
Yeah, I'll take your Star Ocean whatever as a close second, whatever.
All right. Well, Russ, which of us is wrong?
You're both wrong.
We're both wrong, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the best RPG?
Well, I don't know about best, but the only one I've played through twice is actually Final Fantasy IX, if you could believe it. Really? I don't know why. That one just seems like a good balance between having like little mystery things inside of it, but also like kind of holds your hand through the whole experience too. Because I'm not an RPG guy for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite.
I like the art. I love the art style in 9. I like that they're like half-size characters. We can all be correct. So he
stirs the pot and then he makes peace.
We need a final vote from the audience. What is the best or your favorite of these 3 RPGs? Final Fantasy IX, Legend of Dragoon, or Star Ocean 2? We need a consensus. I won't be able to go to sleep tonight until I know. Also, the Crewster, and I'm not sure who this is aimed at, but wants to know what's your preferred form factor for handhelds? And I'm guessing it's for you, Russ.
I mean, if we're talking just vertical versus horizontal, definitely horizontal. I mean, I've never found a vertical handheld that to me is like a really nice fit. I always seem to have some sort of issue with them. So definitely horizontal, Yep. But I would say, a 5-inch screen, like, PS Vita, RGB Max 2, like that kind of stuff just seems like a really good fit for me. The Odin's, 6 inches, but still in that same kind of category. Like these are the ones that I really like. Steam Deck's a monster. It's just amazing what it can do,
The Odin's low bezels help out with that a lot because it's not just 5 inches on the screen. It's also really, or 6 inches, but really low and thin bezels. So it takes up about the same screen real estate as like a Switch Lite, right? Or maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
And for me, I'm a clamshell guy. Ever since the clamshell was started with the Nintendo DS, I love that form factor. So all the way, give me a clamshell. Even the X18S, I like that device too now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thor, you're a vertical guy. You like the vertical.
I do like verticals. Honestly, I'm a function over form kind of guy. So Odin's going to lead the pack with me right now, even that, it's horizontal. If they made like an HDMI and USB add-on, because of both those ports, right, on the top, that would be super cool. That would be super, super cool to have like a DS, massive DS, 3DS situation going on for the Odin. But I like the RG351V because I love the classic Game Boy. That's about it on 3326 devices for me though, was the 351V. Other than that, it'd be something smaller like the RP2, or if it ever gets released, maybe the RP3. It just depends.
Yeah, I know. We will see. I'm open to all form factors. I still try to like the vertical. Like I will definitely still have my 351V because I'm trying to like it, and the analog pocket too. I'm like I'm gonna like that thing.
Yeah.
It's my intention. And I'm learning to love the horizontal, especially with the Odin and the RP2. My heart, it can love mini handhelds. That's what I've come to learn. I'm glad the chat decided on Star Ocean 2 as being the best.
Yeah, I don't see a single one.
There's one guy right there at the bottom saying, thanks everyone, the best is Star Ocean 2. Right there.
So what the deck is
that's
doing
me.
right now
Sorry, I cheated.
Is copying over the operating system files onto the new hard drive. Just for people who are curious what's taken so long. This takes a few minutes to get the whole thing over there.
That's a lot of fancy words on the screen. Are you playing the classic Rogue?
No, this is
80s?
like an advanced Zork, really.
Go north, pick up sword, install driver.
Right.
God.
Flash dev.
You need to
MCL.
use a sudo there every once in a while.
Yeah, a couple sudos, throw them out there for the fun of it.
Sudo this. Yeah.
Let's
Game's
see.
still Linuxing now.
Kappa's Coffee. I mean, when it comes to Final Fantasy, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial? Yes, actually, I have, because I'm a 14 sicko. So, yes, absolutely.
I've never actually tried it.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You have to be really into MMOs. I mean, you have to be really into it. The game itself is fantastic standalone, and I'm really hoping that 14 is playable on the Steam Deck at some point as well.
It's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming game.
Yeah,
Thor's
Stubbs tried to play.
Free company gave me $1 million in in-game money. $1 million.
Oh my gosh!
Just so I would buy stuff and enjoy and play. And they let me into their house in the game, and I still can't play it because I don't know what am I going to buy with $1 million Final Fantasy dollars.
Right.
Yeah, we make
happiness.
We make that in like a couple days usually when we do stuff. $1 million gil.
Once again, thank you, and I'm sorry that I am just looking a gift horse right in its mouth, but I can't get into the game. I just want to play triple triad cards.
Triple triad. That's part of the game. You gotta. There are people that play end game content in it. I mean, the ultra hard raid bosses and stuff, just for gear glamours to play mahjong. So,
but logging into Balmung takes about an hour now.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay. All right. I'll try.
It's like
I'll try it again. So I like that in the on the task manager down below where would be a Windows start menu, they have the little Steam Deck logo.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
The desktop mode for this is actually pretty cool. But you
excited.
have to kind of be a little familiar with Linux. Would you agree with that, Russ?
Yeah, there's some things in there that really can mess you up. So I was messing around with the Dolphin emulator earlier. I hope Nintendo's not listening to this. But
la 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 la.
But yeah, I was setting all that up and stuff. And when anyone who started up Dolphin before on a Windows PC or whatever, it comes up with a window and it says double click here to add your game directory, right? Or you can go into the configuration thing and then add your path there. And so when you do that, you open up a window, it pops up or whatever, and then you navigate to your ROMs folder, and then you hit open, and then it goes in there. Well, on the default settings of the Linux operating system, the Windows mode, one click is a double click. So when you click on a folder, it's not selecting it, it's opening it. And so you can't get into it where you tap on the folder in order to press the open button. I had to figure it out that I had to right click on it and then select properties, then close out of properties, and then it would be highlighted, and then I could press open. And so in the settings, by the way, there is a way, if you go in there, I just learned this maybe an hour ago, you can go in there and change it so that it requires a double click like it would on Windows. So you just have to go into the like general interface settings and change that. But little things like that, I couldn't add a Switch game. I couldn't add, not that I use Switch, but I couldn't add a Switch game, and I couldn't add anything in Dolphin either because I could not just highlight a folder. I only could open a folder, which is just crazy.
All right. Well, it looks like we're set here.
Hey, look at that.
Actually installed. I'm going to go ahead and pop this SD card in here. Make sure you put your SD card in facing up, by the way. I always screw that
facing up. And also,
yeah, it's like the American way.
Which is crazy. Well, Steam or Valve is based out of Seattle. Also, before we started the live stream, Russ was saying something to be aware of for the charger. You don't want to try to use a third party or like a 65-watt Anker charger or anything. You want to use your 45-watt stock charger if you're trying to do video out, right?
Yeah, so I lost probably 4 hours of my life yesterday. And these are like precious hours right now because I only got this thing for a week. I lost 4 hours trying to get video out to work with the Steam Deck. I had 4 or 5 different hubs that I was using. I mean, even stuff that had like really high specs and stuff, just direct like USB-C to HDMI out, all these things, and nothing seemed to be working. And it turns out after doing all this stuff, I mean, we're talking 4 different computers, all these different hubs, a million cables. Like I tried every little thing. And it turns out the problem is that I was using a 65-watt charging brick, which I use for everything because it's from Anker, and it's able to detect whatever signal it needs to give.
Right.
It didn't play nicely with the Steam Deck, which is at 45 watts. And so because of that, like I don't know how I figured it out, but at some point I was like, let me just do this unplugged and see if that works. And then it did work. And I was like, okay, let me plug it back in so the battery doesn't die. And then it didn't work. And so I had to kind of troubleshoot from there.
That's a whole thing, dude.
And you like just figured it out right before you start. You're like, we got it. It's working. It's going.
Yeah, like I put update because I blasted like Valve earlier because I was like, look at this shit, it sucks, you know. And then like and then everyone is like, well, did you try this? You know, the typical like IT like from know backseat quarterback or whatever. And so and so finally I figured it out. So I had to go in and edit everything and be like, okay, I figured it out. This is the fix.
I did it.
And then we just jumped right into it after that. So
that is I want Gaben to respond to my email. I asked him, please send me my Q2 Steam Deck now as a Q1 Steam Deck because I'm jealous of my friends Russ and Thor. And we'll see. But then I'm going to ask him, why can't we use third-party charge bricks? Come on.
Yeah. I'm just happy that it works, and it's an easy thing to just say, hey, make sure you don't do this.
It's good to know. Nil is asking, will the Odin Lite handle 3DS and GameCube? That is a bit of an unknown right now. GameCube, I wouldn't count on it, but it's going to be great for streaming.
I'm going to say moderate GameCube and probably not a whole lot on 3DS.
Yeah, I think surprisingly PS2 might be the hidden gem on the Lite because of the CPU power. So
which would be awesome. I mean, I've only gotten into PS2 emulation probably in the last 6 months because it's becoming a reality. It seems like cheating just to play it on my computer. I know I've been able to play like Burnout Revenge on PSSX2 for the last 5 years, but it's just not fun to sit down on my computer and emulate games. It's like I want to do it on a handheld. So, excited for that.
Yeah, we're definitely at that point, right, where it's like, I get it. I have all this computing power, but nah. I want the challenge. I want to tinker,
Yeah, I know. I might get into some Windows handhelds now, though. I had the Win 3 for a little bit, and it was a little too chunky for me, a little uncomfortable. But Russ was showing off that Retro Power the other day. The Pro Retro Power, and that thing looks really cool. I know it's not as
does.
powerful as the Next, but I just like the look.
Yeah, it the only downside, I mean, I really haven't done much with it. Like literally in my Steam Deck impressions video, you saw like when I showed it, because I wanted to have all the screens on just to kind of show the screens as well. Like it was still like saying turning on Windows for the first time, because that was literally the first time I had actually turned it on. And so yeah, it's, you know, it feels good. It's got a nice feel to it. But I will say the analog triggers are immediately going to be an issue. I can just tell already. So.
Well, if you're ever looking to unload that, I know Thor had mentioned interest, but I would probably be interested in that pretty soon here, because that's the one Windows handheld that has the look of a retro system.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got to get the video out on that and really just do a good deep dive comparison on that one.
Stubbs and I are going to have a knife fight over that one. So
we are. I just seeing it on camera, I was like, oh, there it is.
Well, see,
I bet it can play
the thing. You
pretty
don't have
decently.
you don't have all the retro stuff to trade like I do, though. So I have an immediate advantage.
It's true.
Right. It's true. Yeah.
Even Russ tags in. It's true. It's true.
My one retro console that is kind of retro is a PS3, and Russ already bought it from me. So
I'm slowly getting like all the ones that I used to own that I got rid of, because I was like, oh, I'll never need this again, including the PS3. But yeah, Thor's got a couple of the old ones, you know, the stuff that I had as a kid, besides the Nintendo that I got back. So
we'll see. I'm gonna hit up some garage sales.
You have that mouse pad of that game that like never came out, right?
Yeah, that's we're going to be talking more about that game in depth, I think, as a community in about 2 weeks. So just to give everyone a warning, so you can do the math and figure out what happens about 2 weeks from now.
Good things are happening.
Yeah.
Oh man, so this is taking its sweet time. I should maybe have deprived it from the internet, but.
Is this your connection, or is it on 5 gigahertz? Is it 6 Wi-Fi 6? What's the stats on? I don't actually know a lot about the Steam Deck.
I just live in the middle of nowhere.
Okay,
that's all. So this is taking a minute. Sorry for the extended download here.
Which is funny, because when the little bar was going across the screen and it was saying, "Hey, we're installing" or whatever, I was like, "Wow, that's pretty fast." And I was going to say something, but I'm glad I didn't, because it's not very fast.
Well, how many updates have you gotten so far, Russ? Because I think I've had it since Thursday, so yesterday, and I think they pushed 3 OS updates since then.
I'm not sure. Like, there might be something happening in the background. I have not purposefully changed the OS at all in any way or updated it. I know that the guy who lent it to me, he had it for, 4 to 6 hours before he handed it over to me. And he said he ran it through all the updates and stuff then. So
cool.
So he may have done a bunch.
And Croster Russ is saying you should try Citra MMJR on Android devices for better performance.
Yep, that's the one I use. It's I don't think it's amazing. Even on high end ones, like the MMJR one, just seems to be better. I think on the Red Magic 7, which was that really high end phone that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, I think I tried the regular one on that, and that might have been the footage I showed. But later on, I tried the MMJR, and I was like, I should just use this one. Like, even though this is the performance one, quote unquote, like, it was way better.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. JR2 is, you get a little bit more out of it on the lower end devices, but JR is like the great middle ground, it seems, between all devices where you're going to have a good time. Oh, now we're installing stuff.
Yeah.
We're moving on. What's the first game you want to run?
Oh, man. It depends on if I want to piss off Nintendo or not. No, it doesn't.
I mean, we could get crazy. We could do.
You have some hidden gems on that 256 gig card, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of, what was that Dragoon game you were talking about?
Yeah, that one game with the drags and the goons or whatever it is.
You could at least upscale that to like 3x or something. It's going to look pretty sweet on that.
6 billion X. Are you kidding me?
Well, Well, I know, but the screen only outputs 800p.
Yeah.
There's no point. I mean, yeah, sure. You could be a jerk about it, like I was with Mega Man on the Odin Knight, upscaled to 10x, just because I can.
Yeah, and then tried to run Killzone and about melted the damn thing. Yeah,
Russ was like, "Don't."
You didn't res it down.
He's like, "Don't do that. You're gonna have a bad time." I was like, "Yeah, I got this.
We got this. We're good."
Yeah.
Mosquito said, "I can't wait to see Linus Tech Tips challenge Nintendo by emulating Switch on the deck." Yeah. I might leave that fight for Linus.
Yeah, I watched the video of people were asking me about that, and so I watched the video, and he basically said, "I'm going to put the game next to the Steam Deck while I'm playing the game," and that's like full on fair use. So, you know, what are you going to do at that point, basically? And yeah, I hope he does that because I don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to the Nintendo footage that I've been capturing right now. Like, I don't know. Like, are they going to get me if I do Mega Man X, you know, like on the Super Nintendo? Like, I have no idea.
They could get your video, but probably not your channel.
Right.
So, I mean,
well, but that's what it's about. It's about the content, you know. I mean,
right.
Taking down music streams and stuff like that. It's a little much.
It's been a bit much lately with the Nintendo. They're being a little bit bossy. A little much.
A bit of a sassy pants.
They're being a little sassy. I wish they would calm down, and I wish they would find their soul again. But
yeah,
that's another talk. That is another topic.
Yeah, what makes me sad about it is that, you know, the content creators, even like the Fox, you know, like he made, I think 2. He did a dolphin and a yuzu video, and both got taken down.
Yeah,
he put a lot of work into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just like the footage that he did. You know, he's got an amazing gift where he just presses record and then talks for 20 minutes and doesn't make a mistake. And it's amazing. That is not how I record, by the way. And so it's not just the 20 minutes of time that he spent. It's the hours and hours he spent figuring everything out and then letting people know. And so that's what really just kind of bothers me, is that, you know, all the work that people are putting in is just getting nullified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much.
Well, I understand Nintendo wanting to like really, really safeguard their IP and all that kind of stuff. It seems the two big ones to me are the music on YouTube. That was weird. That was a weird thing to do. And not allowing Smash at Evo. Like, I understand Sony owns Evo, right? But dude, that's such a huge event, and not to get the advertising plus the positive everything right now by allowing such a huge game at a fighting game competition.
Right.
We had Che Chow on a few weeks ago on the podcast, and he was talking about the Rainbow Six Siege Invitational thing, and the top prize being like $3.5 million or something like that. Can you imagine what the top Smash prize would be? Holy crap.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, and you and Izzy Nobre were talking about this too, just a few weeks back, and he went off about it. I mean, he was just like, "Fuck this, all of it, all of it." Nintendo is
it is
done.
Extremely frustrating. You know, it really is.
Yeah. I don't own a Switch right now. All right. Not out of protest necessarily, but I'm not running to go buy a Switch either. I'm good.
Well, I mean, you got a Steam Deck on the way, so you don't really need one anymore. You know.
There it is.
Dude, I mean,
that's what they don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's what they don't want to hear. I was playing Metroid Dread. I was playing Triangle Strategy.
Oh.
I
was going to ask it, but I wasn't sure if you're going to bring it up. Yes, Switch is emulatable on the Steam Deck, and people are finding that out.
Yeah.
And at that point, if it's running and it's a good experience and the screen looks great, why do you need to buy a Switch?
Right.
Why do you got to put up with Nintendo prices? $60 for Splatoon or whatever it is, when you don't need to. Some Nintendo games you can get in Humble Bundle a bit.
So to get to desktop mode, you long press power,
I'll stop,
right?
Stop my rant now.
And switch to desktop. There we go. And it takes a sec. Desktop's going to be where you install most of your emulators, as Russ instructed me earlier, because I was screwing around trying to use the Steam RetroArch, which is awful.
Yeah, it doesn't have an online updater like function, so you can't install cores. Like you would have to manually install them. I think. Like I don't even understand why. Or I think you added DLC or something.
Yeah,
it's
they're
just
added as DLC, but finding the DLC page to add them, you still have to check each one individually.
And that's not on RetroArch either. That's the hoops that Valve put them through to get RetroArch on there.
And
which
like
is crazy.
Updating assets, all those little things that you're just typically going to do, right? It wouldn't allow me to update assets. So I was like, let me just go try the Linux version on the desktop side instead. And it just worked exactly as expected. And so I'm like, yeah, let's just do it that way.
Oh, hey, Cap. Yeah, I keep trying to keep it clean because I get all smudgy and stuff, and I want it to be nice for y'all, you know.
It does look very nice.
All right.
What are you guys' thoughts on ports of third-party AAA games on Switch now that the Steam Deck is out? I mean, do you think it'll be worth time, considering Steam Deck will not need one? Ports of third-party AAA games.
Oh, so like putting Doom on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. Like
okay.
Doom Eternal and stuff like that. And
right. Yeah, I think there's still a market for that. You know,
there is still a market. I don't see too much of a point though, other than a shameless cash grab though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how Skyrim is on everything, and they keep acting, and GTA 5, like, oh my God, GTA 5's on this now. Nobody really cares, but people are going to buy that garbage anyway because it's fun.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And people are going to want to have their Switch Lite that they can much more pocketable because the Steam Deck is not pocketable. It is travel friendly, I think is how Russ put it.
Yeah. It's not portable. It's travel friendly.
So the ones that you want to get are Citra, right?
Yep.
And RetroArch.
Basically, I found that PSP and below can be done in RetroArch, no problem.
Okay.
Like Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, all that stuff, you don't need the standalones.
Yeah.
So you're just going to want 3DS, Dolphin, PS2, PS3, Yuzu.
So you need to get Aether. Or PCS.
And then for Wii U, you have to use Proton through the Windows app, but it works.
Okay. Did you try Ryujinx?
I did not. No, my whole setup is with Yuzu, and so I already had a preloaded like folder, and so I'm like, I'm just going to use that. And it's if I had more than a week, I totally would check those out. And I see that there's a comment asking me about Skyline on Android.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it yet. I've watched a couple videos, and they're like, yeah, Celeste is almost playable, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it some more time.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But
which,
you got
by
some
the
great
way,
selections there.
Yeah, which, by the way, Celeste works wonderfully on the Odin in Windows.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that is good to know. And it also works wonderfully as a Pico 8 game. On a lot of handhelds.
You can get the GBA port, which is really nice too.
Yeah, I saw that. That is really cool. You got some good emulators going there. You got your Dolphin. What is that? That's the mainline Dolphin.
Yeah, Citra for 3DS,
which will be
RetroArch for basically everything.
Right.
Dolphin, Yuzu, PCSX2. What about the PS3 emulator?
Yeah, RP, whatever that one is.
RPSCS3.
Yeah.
Is that in Discover?
It's in Discover, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The only one that isn't in Discover is going to be the Wii U emulator.
Gotcha.
So I missed that. So Discover is the software repository?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the App Store.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Look at that Kega Fusion. There's just a lot of options in here.
Yeah, these are just emulators.
That takes me back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole emulator section.
Wait. Is that Basilisk? Is that the Mac emulator I just saw? Basilisk 2?
Yeah.
I'm very stoked if that was.
68K Macintosh emulator.
Oh, I am playing Oregon Trail. Here we go.
So much Oregon Trail. Oh my gosh.
It's the best on the Macintosh, and those little like I don't know, radio buttons, like the style they used back in like System 7 days. I liked it.
I'm not
Bolo, Scarab of Ra.
I'm not a huge fan of the touchpad mouse yet. Somebody said
I used the USB mouse for everything when I was setting up.
Yeah, I'm considering. I have a mouse and keyboard right here. I'm considering using it here in a second.
Hook it up. I mean, we want to know. I want to know what the comparison is. I gotta know.
I gotta know.
I need to know. Is that RuneScape? Man, you got everything in there.
There's
Maple Story.
Some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty interested in the Open Morrowind one.
You know what? I'm gonna play. I've never played a game called was it Arafel? No, that's a newer game. Oh God. Anyways, my Steam library, I don't play it. I own a lot of games like most of you, but I never play any of them. It's not comfortable to sit in my computer chair and just lean back and play a game. I feel like having the Steam Deck now, I'm actually going to lay in bed and play some games.
Or on the
toilet. I'll tell you, I have been opening up games that have been in my library for years.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying them out. And not just on the Steam Deck, but on the Odin. Like, I'm like, you know what? I got this one. Let's try it. You know? And it's like, okay, what do I have to do? Oh, just install it and press play? Okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? And so it's really changed my approach. So
I can't wait. I don't have an Odin or a Steam Deck at the moment. What have I done to myself? I have an RP2 Plus though.
You sold me your Odin, so that's what you did.
It was too much. It was too much responsibility to hold on to such power in my hands.
the power.
I need to get it out of my house. It was taking over my life. Flatfoot Fox says I'm going to fall down a HyperCard black hole. Dude, HyperCard was the shit, okay? Back in the day, 3rd grade, the first programming language I learned was HyperCard, and how you could link these different cards together, which was the precursor to how like HTML works.
Yeah,
it was so freaking cool. It used to make these like little random number generators and build these little RPGs where you're like hitting a blob, or made like a Star Trek game where you could explore the Enterprise. Until my friend Jonathan and I got in a fight in recess. A fight over our Star Trek game we were working on, and finally he threw the floppy disk for our Star Trek HyperCard game into the mud under the swing set. He was so mad. We couldn't come to a compromise over how to build the bridge in the game, and he wanted to make it all modern looking, like the Enterprise D, and I was like, no, I want the original Enterprise A. Okay, give me that bridge. And we got in a fight. I'll never forget this. It was like 4th grade. And to this day, we don't talk because there's that game. No one will ever get to play it. Okay.
28 years later.
Maybe you could be the better man and like reach out. You never know.
I know. I want to. I should. Like, dude, I'm ready to say, like, I don't think the game's ever going to make it to market. And we'll do it your way. Next time we make a HyperCard Star Trek game together, we'll make it. We'll do it in the next generation image.
And he's gonna be like, "Who are you?
Who are you?" And then it'll flash before his eyes. It'll come back to him. No, I got him back because at my 8th birthday party, which he came to after our fight, and our mothers made us play together. I put on the movie It for the room to watch. No. It was Terminator 2. Terminator 2. And the kids were like, "Oh, this is so cool. Your mom lets you watch Terminator 2." I was like, "Yeah, that's right." And he couldn't take it. He couldn't take the heat. The movie scared him, and he called his mom, and she came and got him. So, you know what? Sorry for scarring you, but
sorry, not sorry.
Like, why'd you throw our game in the mud? That was my life's work up to that point. So
just to be clear, you consider that to be like winning?
Yes. Petty.
Okay.
That is extremely petty. It is.
I'm just a petty nerd. So.
Well, you were 8 years old. It's okay.
I was 8. I've learned some lessons in life. I'm grown more petty with time, and some would say more refined in my pettiness. But now I also have children, and I've learned to be humble, to buy humble bundles. Anyways.
Listen to how humble he is. Listen to him talk about how humble he is. Isn't that amazing?
Correct. Yes. Yes. Are you amazed?
He wants you guys to know how humble he is. All right.
Yeah. It's not like an ego thing. It's just a fact.
It's just how it is.
Oh, my wife, my beautiful wife, brought me food. I didn't realize how hungry I was until just now when I couldn't form sentences. But I have French fries now and chicken strips.
Let's see here. We have any more questions from the live stream channels?
Fox, quick! It's already happened. He fell down the hole. Someone grab Stubbs before he gets fully sucked in.
Yeah, he's going
Dude,
down the chicken hole right now. So
I'm eating chicken strips right now, and they're very tasty. But no.
Okay, so while I'm setting this up, Russ, do you have anything you think that we should be trying to set up while it's in the background, or does anybody have any questions? Anything you want me to check out while this stuff's installing?
I'll just you'll have to. They're all still just doing their initial download. Is that where you're at here?
Yeah, for the emulators,
okay.
They're all just installing.
Yeah, I mean the time is going to be spent in RetroArch for the most part because you'll have to configure everything and then whatnot. But I found that there's just little things that are going to be really frustrating because they just haven't optimized everything for like the resolution of the display and things like that. So for example, the PCSX2 emulator, when you try to play Jak and Daxter just by default, like they're going to be all weird looking. Like they'll have like black eyes and, like it's just like, it's really weird looking.
Right.
But there's enough hacks you can go in and just kind of toggle things and then figure out how to make it work. You can't access those hacks because they're too far down on the menu page and you cannot scroll with your mouse wheel. You also can't, there's no way to scroll down to get them. And so just be prepared for little things like that. It's just really frustrating. It's like, oh, I could fix this, but I can't right now. And so
it's a little, frustrating.
And then you have to do all the setup and configuration for the most part within the Windows, or not Windows, but the desktop mode here. Because when you try to open the same apps, when you transfer them over onto the gaming side, you're not going to be able to access all of the menus in the same way and stuff. And so if you're trying to like configure hotkeys or things like that, you've got to do that on the Windows or the PC side.
Yeah.
It's good to know that it carries over, though. Mosquito also says that they're a Steam input expert. If we need any help customizing controls to work better with emulators, don't sleep on those touchpads, they say.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've been getting roasted on the touchpad thing because I just briefly tested them in my impressions video just to kind of get a feel and describe what it's like to touch them and then what it's like as like an outsider coming in and just trying to kind of figure it out. And I got roasted by all the Steam controller guys who were just like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, and stuff. No. And I'm like, man, you've had that thing for years. I had it for less than 24 hours. Like I did as much as I could. Yes, I knew that you could put it into mouse mode and treat it like a mouse and stuff, but I just was running out of time. And I was like, well, let me at least see what it's like out of the box,
Right.
And man, I'm getting roasted for that. It's all good.
Well, I mean, people who had like the Steam controller for years probably got really, really experienced at using it because this is basically like a new revision of that.
Right. It's exactly that. It was people who had been using the Steam controller and stuff. And I totally agree. And I think that there's some really cool things, especially when they start talking about using that in conjunction with gyro. Like that's super interesting to me.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
But I'm just not there yet. Like I'm not going to be able to get to it this week, unfortunately.
Let's see
here. Hopefully before you have to send it back, you'll capture some of the goodness. Who else?
Eames Retro GM says it looks like a graduated Game Gear. Do you think recapping this be as traumatic like a GG? So a lot of people don't know about this, but when you restore a Game Gear, most of the time the electrolytic capacitors inside of them are garbage, right? They go bad. So you actually have to desolder them, pull them off, and put it back on. And since this looks like a Game Gear, I think this would be infinitely more traumatic because we took a look at the inside a little bit ago, and pulling off those SMT capacitors is, that's not something 99.9% of humanity is capable of doing. So
It's a bit much. Yeah.
Recapping a Game Gear is pretty easy, relatively.
And then Flatfoot Fox says, you might want to recap those ergonomics for latecomers.
I mean,
It's all right.
All right.
How's it feel?
So
you have big hands, right?
I do. I have really big hands. Like, I mean, Russ asked me earlier. I wear a size 2XL glove, right? And
what?
And so, like, I mean, my fingers comfortably reach way, way, way past all of these buttons. But they're nice and comfy. It's nice. It has a really decent weight. I thought it was going to be a lot heavier.
Yeah, I know. Russ said that in his video too. It's well balanced.
It is
the weight of it,
but it feels
it's heavy
really good in the hands
on a scale. But yeah,
I think maybe the analog sticks are a little too high for me, though.
Yeah, I can see that. Like you kind of have to reach your thumb a bit.
Yeah. So not like I'm saying I want sliders or anything, but
not RP2 sliders. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to get used to these touchpads. You know, like Mosquito was saying, they're part of it and they're useful for this stuff, but I am gonna have to get used to them. You know.
Yeah, especially if those analog sticks are raised uncomfortably high, kind of like how the GPD XP had. Those thumbsticks were raised way too high. Mm-hmm. And Russ, you've had both. Which is this on par with the XP?
It is a little bit shorter down. I would say. Hold on, let me grab it.
Thank goodness. Thank the good Lord. I can have a Steam Deck then. Because I couldn't.
Yeah, no, actually, the Steam Deck is higher.
No!
Let me get my calipers out. That's actually
they're pretty high.
We need to know.
They are high, but it doesn't feel as high because I mentioned it in the video too. It's like you're gripping this thing, like you're wrapping your hands around it, which is not something you usually do on other handhelds. And so because of that, you have more range of motion with your thumbs just by the angle that you're kind of holding it. And so it's not. I never, until Thor just brought it up, like I've never thought to myself, oh, this is too high. I don't have a good way of measuring this with calipers.
Well, you have calipers out?
I do.
Calipers out.
Everyone get your calipers out. I need to buy some calipers. Can anyone recommend to me a good pair of calipers?
Russ outpros me again.
How dare you?
Ooh,
Bastion. Nice.
Crap.
Are you okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh my God, your Steam Deck!
It's all good. A little precarious right now, but we're good. Nobody saw that. Shh. So is there any other games that people wanted me to try? If I have them in my Steam Deck or my Steam list, I'll try to get them installed while we're setting up emulators and stuff like that.
So it looks like the thumbsticks are 2 millimeters higher on the Steam Deck than the GPD. It's about 13.4, and the calipers are not a great way of measuring it, but it's about 13.4 millimeters from the shell to the top of the analog stick.
No.
But like I said, didn't even notice.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it's about as high as an Xbox controller is, and you're just eyeballing it right now. And
that's true.
Yeah,
and because the way you grip it, you never feel that way.
I have the Xbox Series X Pro controller, right? And they have the ultra high, chimney height one that's way too high. Yeah. And this feels like it's in between that and the Xbox one, like the regular one. Okay. Does that make sense?
All right. Makes sense. I mean, I got my Series S controller here from all my RetroArch stuff on my computer. Yeah, and those joysticks are totally fine. It's good. I'm sorry I'm eating French fries. I'm going to mute myself, but I'm satisfied. Continue.
But yeah, let's see. Were there any other games people wanted?
I don't see any up here.
Flatfoot Fox. Oh my gosh, it looks like an RP2 in your hands. Oh,
oh, they want to see Celeste. Do you have Celeste?
Yeah, probably do. Well, here, let
me check the Discord.
Let me get an actual RP2 out here.
In Discord, Azumo says, "Hello guys, please play Bastion on Steam." Well, that's kind of convenient.
This is my RP2 playing method right here.
That is insane, man. That's like a fun key S in your hands right now.
It's pretty small.
Also, let's see who else. Somebody else wanted a game. Doc Waffle says, "Please play Overload."
Overload.
Overload.
I don't know if I've heard of that one, but we'll see.
I'm not sure what that is either. Yeah.
If I have it in my library.
Anybody heard of what Overload is?
I have Overlord.
I have not.
I was gonna say, do they mean Overlord? I have that game too.
Yeah, I like the Overlord games. Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Garrett asked for Witcher 3. That one, that download's too big for me to do right now.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, what's a small
couple
size
gigs
game?
and under, preferably. You know.
Yeah, just don't do Assassin's Creed 1. That's gonna be.
What was the other one?
Well,
Celeste.
Celeste.
Is that on Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be. It's probably in one of those bundles. There's like 4 really good bundles on Humble Bundle right now.
Yeah, I don't have Celeste in my Steam library. Sorry.
All right.
So Citra is another one of those apps where you can't scroll through the settings. So you can't map all of your buttons. Like I can't map the start and select button, which means I can't press start to start a game because I can't get to the menu to map it. You know what I mean? And so, these are the little things that are super frustrating. In this whole time we've been doing this, about an hour and a half now, I have so far finished PS2 in my
nice.
Like that's how long it takes to test games, and I probably did maybe 8 games. Like that's how long it takes to get through the menus and set everything up, make sure it's configured, and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, because you don't have fast forward for that emulator, do you? Yeah.
You might, but I didn't bind it.
You know what takes forever to get into is the game Black for PS2.
Yeah.
You got to sit through this whole movie and the cutscene. Yeah.
Yeah, Okami is like that too.
Yeah.
I did learn something.
Okami's intro is super long. Damn.
Oh, it's terrible. And it's not one of those where you can just leave it and walk away like Wind Waker. You have to press A 2,000 times basically to get to that. So, one other thing with Dolphin I was telling Thor about earlier is, and maybe other people know this, but you can do multi-finger or multi-button hotkeys in the emulator. It's not intuitive. You basically have to, like, say, for example, you go into the hotkey settings and you say, I want to do select and start to end a game. When you do that and you click on it and then you press the 2 buttons, it's going to show up and it's going to say either select or start. And so it basically ruins the ability to use select and start at that point. And so, but what you have to do is you have to go in there and right click on it and get into the config and then change the little symbol to an and sign. And then it will only be select and start. And so there is ways to give like RetroArch hotkeys to Dolphin. It just takes a while to kind of set it up.
Meanwhile, Croster wants to know, whatever happened to the KTR1 handheld?
I'll field this
question.
one because I talked to Nilan
Okay.
or whatever he's calling himself. So basically, the dev for it talked a lot of smack back in the day about how it was going to have an 845 and it was going to be an Odin killer, right? And that was back in September. Since then, the design has changed a bunch of times. It no longer has analog triggers, and it has a Tiger 618 SoC is what the plan for it is. Every month, he says that the Indiegogo is coming up for it, right? And I ask him every couple of weeks what's going on. They've now said that they are no longer doing an Indiegogo because their bank account doesn't work with it, and they're going to do direct sales on their website in May. So to me right now, honestly, it's pretty vapor. Like I don't have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah, I'm like 50-50 on it myself. I think something will come to market, but I think it's going to be in a really, really small production amount, like maybe under 100 units. And it's going to be like the Gameforce Chi directly on the website. It's going to probably be that kind of situation. I just don't have full faith in the project. And I hate to say that because I was really stoked for that handheld for quite a while. It sucks. I hope they can pull it off though. I'm quietly rooting for it.
Yeah, and I do hope that they pull it off. The downgrade in the SoC that's a pretty big deal, honestly. And I really hope that more companies, especially with the release of the Odin, take putting in more powerful processors at an affordable price seriously in the future.
Yeah, maybe it kind of opens the door for some other projects.
So this is
We'll see.
This is what I have loaded right now. So what do
I
you guys?
like. First of all, I like the shade of blue on the folders. Right?
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah,
It's nice.
I like that I didn't have to
shade.
select the dark theme. They were like, "Yeah, we get who we're selling this to.
We get it.
Yeah.
We understand."
Which is funny because I switched to the light theme.
Did you?
What? What does that look like?
Similar. I mean, it's actually just the windows will be light. The background wallpaper will still be black. But I needed to do that because of the white balance in my videos. It was messing with everything because everything was so black. The camera was trying to compensate for it, and so I just gave it like a lighter background, and then changed it to light mode.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, the default theme looks good. It matches the aesthetic. The blue I'm seeing matches sort of that Steam Deck logo blue. It's all well coordinated.
Don't forget to add stuff to your favorites. Ah, dang it. Wrong click.
So you have to interact with the touchpad and use your mouse to do this?
For some of this, yeah. There's some unintuitive stuff that
like Cuphead. That. Yeah, Cuphead.
Cuphead.
That's a small download. That's like 300 megabytes.
Yeah. Also works really well on the Odin.
Oh.
I'm giving away my next video right now. But yes, it works really well.
I don't have Cuphead, but I will buy Cuphead because I love
Cuphead. It is so good. I really want my Odin Pro to show up now. Come on, EYN.
But you do give up a lot, in order to be able to play Cuphead, But
yeah,
something to think about.
It makes sense.
But by contrast, you can play BioShock at around 30 frames per second too. That's
wow.
a Xbox 360 game,
That's actually that's really impressive.
I'm gonna pull it off screen so I don't, give away.
Don't want to dox yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, retro gaming. You're still waiting on your Odin Pro as well. Yeah, I feel the pain. Hey, I had an Odin. I let it go. I let it fly free. They say if you love something, you let it go and it flies back to you.
That's what?
I don't know. It comes back around. What goes around comes around. Let it go.
If it comes back to you, it was meant to be.
Then it meant to be. So.
What in the hell just happened?
I don't know. We've accomplished something.
Did your chicken give you like a stroke or something like that?
I screw up a few times a day, man. Just don't worry about me. I'll be all right.
So Flatfoot Fox asked about using Half-Life or a Portal game or something. Surprisingly, those are not very well optimized for the Steam Deck because they're still not very well optimized for controllers either. Those are just games that were made before that. Especially like the first Portal, and so I found they actually weren't quite. I thought they were going to be amazing, right? And so I put on Portal 2, and it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I did run into issues like making sure that the controller was like recognized correctly.
So it looks like Proton has to get installed.
Okay. Well, I do recommend trying.
No, they added perfect controller support for those games in recent updates.
Aha.
Oh, maybe I missed it.
Time to update. Dick Darlington asks, can we try Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate, like which Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate 1 or 2.
Because I have the enhanced edition.
Yeah, that works.
That's a big boy. We're not going to do that one right now.
Hey, Sebion plays that game too.
We'll go ahead and try to download it in the background, but if something smaller comes up first, we'll do that.
Will the Steam Deck ever compete with consoles in sales? With like other first-party consoles?
Only if people start buying it as a laptop replacement. I think, as a personal computer replacement. And for that to happen, I think that they're going to have to really polish up the desktop end a lot more, because people aren't going to put up with how unintuitive some of the smaller things can be for Linux, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. This device here is obviously crafted for a certain niche, a certain individual, and it is really well, it's really well captured for that experience. And for the general public, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be like a Switch killer. I don't think it's going to compete on that level ever with Steam Deck 1 or Steam Deck 2.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be freaking awesome for many of us who are in the niche. So I don't know.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, I think availability is going to be an issue. If it was in Best Buy, then I think it would be a much bigger deal.
Let's get it in Best Buy.
I have a few things downloading on Steam itself right now, so we'll go ahead and do some basic RetroArch setup. So I noticed the first time around when I was setting this up on the EMMC, right, that when I did the quick scan, which is under import content and scan directory, number one, you have to dig all the way down in here for this stuff. There we go. ROMs. And then if I scan this directory, it's not scanning the subfolders, number one, which at every RetroArch I've ever done, you've had the option of scanning subfolders.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
So what I've been doing instead is the manual scan. Russ, do you have any suggested cores to download?
I do. What are you looking for? I can help you with any of them.
Pretty much.
What do you have on there?
I have nothing right now. This is a fresh RetroArch install.
I mean, as far as games, like what systems you wanted. So go into Online Updater.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you were in the.
So let's let's go with GBA,
Okay.
N64, PSP, and
Switch.
PlayStation. What? Switch? No.
No, they don't have a Switch. They don't have a Switch core. That'd be neat though.
Yeah. So I used MGBA for GBA.
Okay.
For Super Nintendo, I just used the regular SNES one. But as Garrett just mentioned, if you use the HD beta, you can get widescreen for Super Mario World. But the regular one's fine. And then for PSX, I was just using DuckStation because of the upscaling options. And for Nintendo 64, it has Mupen and Parallel. I just put Mupen on there.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't remember what else.
Yeah, those are all really solid options. And then, did you already do a Sega? Do you have any Sega ROMs?
Yeah, I do. I have Genesis and Game Gear. Not that there's
you got
much
that
difference.
wide. Well, yeah, you got that widescreen core for Sega.
So you'll be surprised to find when you actually get in this, 4:3 content looks good on this screen.
Wow.
Because you got to bear in mind that this isn't a 16:9 display,
Right.
and so it's a little bit taller, and so the bezels are not so bad. I mean, it looks pretty good. You'll see. And GBA is amazing.
GBA. I'll load up some GBA too. It looks really good.
And Dollar Bill's asking, Thor, are you going to be using SteamOS as a front end for your retro systems, or something like Emulation Station, or I guess Batocera?
I haven't decided yet. I saw Uria actually talking about Pegasus.
What? Oh, right. I always forget that's on Windows.
So he was talking about being able to set up some Pegasus stuff, which that could be cool. I'm not a huge fan of big picture mode right now because it's not user friendly to me. They don't launch to the library page. They launch to the store page, which isn't well laid out for a touchscreen device. You know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to use big picture mode a whole lot, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish it just launched right into the library tab. I mean, it's just one tab, but it's not like you can just push one button to do it. You have to push the Steam button, then tap the library one.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit unintuitive. Just give us the option to go right into our library. You know what I mean? That would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Because
we
the
don't need
home
all
one, it's just got a lot of ads and stuff, and maybe that's how they sell games, you know. But it just kind of sucks.
Yeah, we don't need all the flashy fanciness. We just go straight to the library.
Yeah.
Call it good. Thor.
What's up?
I remember in my Odin live stream, I just kind of did some speed running on this and tried to download all of the cores at once. I found out, don't do that.
Yeah. Negative. I'm just gonna skip straight to Nintendo. We'll do that.
Yeah,
so
good.
You're using MGBA, right?
MGBA for Game Boy Advance, yeah.
You're using Dolphin standalone, right? There's no point.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm not using the core at all for that. I tried it. It's got about 25% worse performance.
Did you say to use Beetle for SNES or
BSNES, the one that doesn't have numbers on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, HD beta. You can get widescreen.
Yeah, I grabbed both of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we'll go up to Sega. So
Genesis plus GX is for
GX wide.
I'm gonna try the GX wide just to see what happens there. But I'll get
it's fine. It'll work fine. It's just
some
the
games
wide thing you have to kind of toggle, and there's a little bit of configuration required.
And you're using
some
DuckStation for the
compatibility
upscaling options, right?
Yep.
And PPSSP.
Yeah, because
Yep.
Rearmed is great, but on the 64-bit build here, you're not going to be able to upscale the graphics at all.
What about Open Lara?
Hey, you do you.
Do whatever you need to do.
That's an inside joke, y'all. All right, so I'll just set up a couple things here. So import content. I'm just going to stick with the manual scans for now,
Yep.
Because might as well.
Yeah, because once you set up one manual scan, it's easy to manual scan the others. You just have to change out the parameters of the top three. It's pretty fast.
Oh, that's good to know, Mosquito, as well. So the deck UI is how you customize your controls.
Okay.
Right, because a lot of these will not pick up on the native Steam. Like, it'll think you're connected like a mouse, basically, instead of the actual Steam like buttons. So you got to open up Steam and then launch that. Then add the non-Steam game of each of these apps, and then launch the app through Steam, because that'll give you that extra layer, and then it'll recognize your like virtual gamepad, basically.
Mosquito or anybody else out there, I keep having this issue right here. Russ, have you seen this before, where you hit the right directory, but it doesn't find anything?
Let's go up to the top. Let me see I know there's a delay, but yeah. So GBA directory, scan this directory.
Yeah.
And then what else do you have? You've got Game Boy Advance, default core. Yeah.
Do I need to add file extensions?
Nope.
Nothing. Oh, crap. That was just that fast. Oh, wow.
Boom.
Never
there you
mind.
go.
Yeah. It'll be really fast if
Holy
you do a
shit.
manual scan.
So Thor, are what we're seeing here, are these your cultivated ROMs?
These are my cultivated ROMs, yes.
I this is my favorite part of this whole live stream. I just want to see what your list is. This is awesome. So you got like 100 games or so per system you were able to narrow it down to?
So let me take a look here. Let me take a look at my actual folder. This is the entire thing. I'm not gonna scan the BIOS, and this doesn't include PS2, right?
This is amazing. Okay.
So 665 games instead of 27,000.
Wait, how many games?
665 games total, yeah.
Total for all these systems?
For all these systems, yeah.
What? How do you not just have the entire no intro ROM set, legally speaking, sitting there? That is amazing. How you have the self control. I am inspired. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cultivate a little.
Well, you and I have very, very different methods of quote unquote cultivating ROMs. You know.
Yeah, very different. All right, you just grab like best of lists, right, and kind of give 100 games, and if you need more, you go get more later. I come at it from a much harder standpoint of getting every ROM ever made, all languages, every beta, and then I narrow it down in Launchbox game by game until I eventually have a list I can live with.
Didn't you say the other day that you went through all of the ROMs that you have, the billions of ROMs that you have, and successfully eliminated all of the Mahjong games?
I successfully, I without any remorse deleted every Mahjong game that I had, and every pachinko game I also removed. So you can be proud of me. While I was in San Diego the last few weeks, I was able to knock out a bunch. I went from 16,000 ROMs down to, what is it? I'm at like 5,000 right now. Okay, I make big swinging cuts, and I've been working on this I've been working on this project for over a year.
He has, and I can confirm that. All right.
And this is through. These are just MAME games, or all the games.
All games that are possible to emulate on a Windows with a 3060 Ti graphics card. So like everything from Atari 2600 up through Switch.
Should I set
and
this
everything
to
in between?
General BSNES or BSNES HD?
I just do the regular one, actually.
Oh.
And then
the HD beta I only use for widescreen Super Mario.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Well, that should be, let's see. That's a lot of stuff, right? Should I put anything else in there for now?
Mosquito.
I think that's plenty to test.
Yeah. I think you got enough games. I was
Dude, if you saw Mosquito, if you saw the pile that was on my dining kitchen right now of just the stuff I'm selling, which is half of my gaming merchandise, you'd be like, yeah, he owns probably most of those. So
no, actually, I was just telling Thor this like off the wall idea this morning. I'm like, what if once I finish cultivating like you have, and I get down to like 100 games per system, I then make a video. It'll be very expensive to make, but I go out and I buy every one of those games, no matter what. And I go to the first game on the list, which is Pop Full Mail for Sega CD. $3,000 for this game. $3,000. And I'm like, I've made a huge mistake. I am not probably going to make that video, but it was a nice thought. Luckily, though, I do already own every single game physically that I have digitally, so I mean, it's no problem. But
make sure you save your RetroArch configuration, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
And save it as a global config file.
I've done that so many times.
Save it globally.
If only someone had an in-depth RetroArch video and guys that walked you through all those basics like configuration files.
Do we know who does that? Oh, Retro Game Core, right? Russ.
Yeah.
He's talking with us right now. Go to, and I have him tagged in the description now of the video. Click on that little @ symbol to Russ, and then it'll take you to his channel. Check out the RetroArch guide. It came out really recently here. There's a written guide as well, and it's awesome.
So how do I set this to widescreen?
Set it to widescreen.
I already set the core association.
You're trying to set it to full screen? Like to have RetroArch take up the full screen?
No. Super Mario World.
Oh, so yeah, you have to have a patch ROM. Like it's not something you can actually just do. Yeah.
Russ and I talked about this briefly in private, but the audio quality on this is insane.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
It's a whole another level.
So in that case, let's play Mega Man X.
That actually sounds really good.
I bet it does. Ooh, Link to the Past. That's some good music.
So Thor, do you want me to give you like configuration instructions and stuff for the video? So the thing is with this screen, it's only 1280 by 800, so you're not gonna be able to mask like pixel distortion and stuff like naturally. It's not like a super high res screen where you're gonna be able to see it or not be able to see it. And so because of that, you do have to do some things. But luckily, this thing is so powerful, it's like an afterthought. So you just have to basically go into video or settings, then video, and then turn on bilinear filtering. I know that sounds counterintuitive. And then go into the filters and add the normal 4x filter. So that will blow up the screen to 4 times the size of it and then shrink it back down. And somehow in that magic, it'll make it super sharp, but you need to have bilinear filtering on as well. And at the end of that, it will balance all the pixels for Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, all of those kind of pixel-based ones. That's what you're going to want to do. And that will... that'll give you the correct life bar and Mega Man X and all the other things that are indicators of the pixel distortion.
I have bilinear on.
Yep.
What's next?
And then right under is video filter. There's a whole menu of video filter below it. And then pick normal 2x.
So you're sharpening it and then
Just
balancing
plain
it out.
normal 2x?
Normal 4x.
Oh.
Sorry.
There we go.
And then make sure you go into overrides, save content directory overrides.
Where's that?
In the quick menu. So go back to like the very top level menu, and then it'll say quick menu, then go into...
I'm not in a game right now.
Oh, you're not in the game right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you only want to do that
when you're in
a game. Because that's going to mess things up when you're playing like PSP and stuff.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So turn those off and then save your configuration file again, and then...
Dude, RetroArch this is all so convoluted how they have the overlaying config files. It's all crazy. I need to step away for a few minutes, gentlemen, and get the kiddos to bed. So you have fun with the RetroArch and doing this.
Yeah, no worries.
There you go.
Below it should say remove video filter, and just press that. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and then save the configuration file, then open up a Super Nintendo game, and then do that.
Gotcha.
And then save it as an override.
Sweet. All right, we'll have fun.
Okay, so people wanted Mega Man what? Mega Man X?
Mega Man X, yeah, that's a good indicator. Just the audio is really nice, and you'll be able to see the video that shows. I would actually start it up, and then we'll look at the life bar and how it looks without it. You know what I mean? So you can see kind of how bad it can be. And then once you fix it, you'll be like, oh, much better.
All right. Let's take a look.
Yeah, you
here.
see how the lines are like off a bit?
Yeah, they are off a bit. There's like, it's split into thirds almost.
Right. So now go in and do the bilinear filtering and the normal 4x filter.
Where's that?
So it's gonna be the same place again. Settings, then video.
Oh wait, I have to go out of the quick menu.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not intuitive.
Yeah, no. All right, and then go back to the quick menu.
Mm-hmm.
And then
resume. I would do a resume first just to check it out.
Okay.
See the difference.
Oh yeah, that looks correct.
Yeah, and it's nice and sharp too. You know, it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
So then, then go back into the menu, then overrides, save content directory overrides. That way, no matter what core you use, it's going to use that still.
So it's going to use this for every Super Nintendo game?
Every Super Nintendo game, regardless of the core that you use. So when you use the BSNES HD one, it's still also going to fix it.
Cool. So save content directory overrides, right?
Yep. And then you're done. Mm-hmm.
Well, I learned a bunch of new stuff about RetroArch today, because RetroArch is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
All right,
And I'm stubborn, like I don't read guides, and so I like figure it all out myself, and I feel like a king when I do it. I'm like, I've discovered gold or whatever, and turns out there's some guide out there that I just didn't read.
What GBA game do people want to see?
Let's see, what are people asking for? Someone wrote Mega Man 10. That's because I always say that on accident in my videos. Final Fantasy X and Mega Man 10. I always mix those up.
Final Fantasy X.
Link to the Past. Someone mentioned that. Oh, Eames did.
For SNES or GBA?
I don't know. Well, he says with the MSU1 music. So yeah, we can try the GBA and have a look at that. How it looks. Okay. Super Nintendo is going to be great on this. As you can see, like the 4x3 content looks pretty good. So.
Yeah. Should I also do those same fixes on this?
You can. You can also add a shader on top of that, but the shader is going to mess with the filter. And so what I just did is I didn't mess with any of that. I just used a shader that's made for Game Boy Advance, and then it seemed to work pretty well.
Okay.
So that's going to be in the quick menu, go into shaders, and then GLSL shaders. Under load, yeah.
Load. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
GLSL.
Mm-hmm. And then handheld.
All right.
And then within there, you just find them. There's it says like GBA color correction and stuff like that. You can scroll through. There's several different ones. Some have motion blur, some don't. It's really going to be up to you what you want to see. I think I used the LCD2 GBA color one is what I ended up using.
LCD2 GBA color.
Mm-hmm.
LCD2 GBA
grid.
color?
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Because I don't like the motion blur myself, but.
And then check it, and then go to overrides, right?
Yep, and same thing.
Oh,
yep.
That looks so cool.
Except for shaders, sorry, you don't do an override. You have to actually go back into shaders, and then you do save shader preset or something like that, and then save it as a content directory one. It's one of those that doesn't work with overrides.
Okay.
You'll go into the save menu.
Save, and then save shader, save global preset?
No, not global. That's going to do every game. You want this content directory or core, whatever one,
Okay.
I don't know what the options are. There you go. Yeah, it's weird. Like I'm watching you go through the menus, but I'm also like, you're 5 seconds behind, so I don't want to talk about what I'm seeing because you're already there. Oh, you actually put your name in. I just put AAA every time.
Mosquito. Well, I think I'll just use standalone emulators instead. Dude, nobody would blame you at all for that, I don't think. RetroArch can be a real bear.
The thing is, once this is all set up, right, and you have it opened up in the actual Steam handheld menu, you just open up RetroArch. It's going to show all of your games. You can start up a game. All of the hotkeys are going to be the same. So you can press select and R2 to fast forward through the cutscenes. So you don't have to deal with that crap anymore. And this thing is so powerful, it'll go at 3,000%. So it'll speed through all that stuff so fast. And then you can also
fast forward hotkeys, did I?
Yeah. But then you can also do select and start to quit the game and jump right back into the menu. All of those things for me make it totally worth it all the way up to PSP. And if I could do GameCube in that, I would do that as well. But it's just not powerful enough.
The Dolphin Core isn't good enough yet.
No, it's just not there. There's definitely a gap there. And I didn't even try. I don't know if the PCSX2 emulator is in there or the core is in there. It's definitely not going to work as well. So,
Eames, that's called breaking the console in.
But yeah, the GBA screen on this, once you have it in full window mode and everything like that, it's just amazing. So
yeah, I mean, it still looks pretty dang good here,
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks, wow. That's a great filter. Thank you for telling me about that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's a good one. There's a couple original GB one that's really nice because this one can handle the high end filters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one that's just, man, it looks like they've made a Game Boy screen on your LCD screen. Like it's
awesome.
amazing. So. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Let's go with some PSP.
Let's do it. Also, Mosquito just mentioned that somebody made a default keyboard key for save states, fast forward, and rewind and stuff using the touchpads. That's kind of amazing. Yeah. So you want to go in and change the you can go into options and you can change the
where's the
resolution.
Where's the frame rate overlay?
So I don't know. I always make that a hotkey, and so I think it's under. Yeah, you'd want to do that without a game loaded.
Gotcha. Internal resolution. Any suggestions?
Well, 3x is 720p, 4x is 1080p. So you could do 4x, and that way it's going to be way more pixels than you need, because 720p will be a little bit blurry, just because it's not fully what the screen's capable of. So
we'll go with 1920 by 1088.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's what I ended up doing.
Go with easy, so I don't have to flex. I'm over 35. I don't have time.
Yeah. So this is one of those moments where with the fast forward hotkey, you just be done with the cutscene already. I love that stuff.
Well, dang it. So let me ask you this question: if I go in and set up the hotkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hit save configuration settings, is it going to save everything?
Nope. So you can't use this save configuration file while a game is running. If you have the game closed, then yes, you can go and set it all up universally, and then you do save current configuration. It's going to save it for every game, for every system.
So where is that? Is that a hotkey?
It's under input, then hotkeys. Yep. And then you'll just want to put your hotkey enable, make that the select button.
So the fast forward hold?
Yeah. So yeah, do hotkey enable, make sure that's the select button. And then for fast forward, you want to do fast forward toggle, not hold. And then change that to R2.
All right.
And then make sure, go back into it and go into input again, hotkeys. And then right above the fast forward toggle, there is the, it says hotkey enable. Make sure you press that one and then press the select button.
Cool.
And then when you're in here, scroll down more and find the frames per second. And then that way you can change that. I usually do the X button for that. Those are really only the two main ones you're going to want.
So which one do you use?
X, yep.
X?
Mm-hmm. So select and X together will do frame rate. And then while you're in here, also, you might as well do close content. You can make that start. That way when you press select and start, it's going to close out the game. So you can get right back into the menu.
Okay.
That's under close content. I don't remember where that is. It's somewhere. Okay, yeah, now go back, configuration file, save current configuration.
You got to save your configuration.
That's right.
Gotta save your configuration.
Hey,
there we go.
So now when you go into PSP, you'll be able to just hit select and R2 to get through those God of War cutscenes super fast. And then you can press select and X to bring up your frame rate too. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like ridiculous.
It's amazing. Uncapped frames.
And when you try to do that on a Pokemon game, it's unplayably fast. You can go and you can adjust those in the settings, so you can make it not so fast. Like 10x is the cap or whatever. Yeah. But I use this all the time. Like that helps me so much when I'm doing testing and stuff. So even the dumb part in it. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe a couple teeny tiny slowdowns, but this is completely playable.
Yeah, so it's probably also when shaders are caching, and so after you do one move, it'll stutter a little bit, but when you do it again, it won't do it the next time.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Keep in mind, I'm playing it like 3 feet away from my face, you know?
That looks really good.
It's amazing. It looks really, really nice.
Usually when you're playing this game on some of these other Android handhelds, it's not rendering the background correctly.
Yeah. No, this is
you're trading
everything.
You're trading off a lot to get any performance.
Do we have any suggestions from anybody yet?
So while you're in here, close out of the game. You're closed out of your games.
Yeah.
Go into video.
Okay.
Like settings, then video, and then there's going to be an option somewhere that says full screen. So full screen mode, then turn that on.
Is that bugging you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just going to be able to see more screen now. So there we go. Someone was asking about the comments too. Azu said, "Can you hide the taskbar at the bottom?" So
yes, you can.
And then make sure you save your current configuration.
Yes, sir.
Russ, have you done this a time or two?
Dude, that RetroArch guide that you made is the definitive guide right now. You know that, right?
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, there are other guides out there that have all the data in there. I mean, even, LibRetro's own pages have that data in there, but you can't find it. Like, it's just something that's intuitive. You got to be an engineer for it. So nothing against engineers, but yeah. It's
spread out all over the place. Yeah, it's really tough.
You can tell the guide was not written by somebody who used to teach Russian, like me. Got that educational background.
It makes it makes good sense.
Do you know where the upscaling is in Muppin?
Yeah, so then go into options, and then under that glide N64.
There we go.
Like it says, and then just change it there, and then you'll have to. It'll actually automatically save. So change this to, whatever the spec is that's above the resolution of the Steam Deck, like the one that's next above it. And you want to do it for the 4:3 resolution, not the wide one.
Gotcha. So 960,
and then once that's yeah, exactly. And so once you're done with that, then hit that and then exit out. Like hit the B button or whatever, and then go select and start to close the game. Or you can hit close content, either one. Because it's not going to work until you close the game and start it back up.
Right.
But this is one of those that automatically saves. Anything you work within the options menu is just going to save itself automatically.
Oh, wow, that's super crisp.
There you go.
Yeah, that looks
There's
great.
other things you can do, widescreen hacks and stuff like that. But this is just like the best basic way of just getting up and running.
Yeah. I mean, it can run it at 250 frames per second. Watch out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what this really means is that when the dock is available and there's like a good kind of docking interface and stuff,
right,
you will be able to dock this into something like a TV or whatever and just start playing and have it at high res, like even higher res, like 4K or whatever.
And that is kind of the hopeful thing, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, too, once you start playing this in the Steam OS version, you can go and you can turn on your on-screen like data and stuff, so you can see the TDP and how much is draining your battery and stuff.
Right.
And for the most part, when it comes to playing RetroArch and doing emulation, the TDP is going to be well below 10, and you're going to get, at least according to the readouts, something between 4 and 7 hours of gameplay.
Nice.
So it's pretty. I mean, 6 seems to be the average. So you're getting 6 hours of gameplay on this thing, which is the same as like a retro handheld.
Right. And definitely better than the Switch was at launch as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and how's your battery looking right now?
Well, I don't
Is there a
know
way to-
because somebody asked me to go full screen.
Well, isn't there like an Alt tab or something? Some function for that?
There is. It's Alt and space. You can bring up a menu, I think. Oh no, you can just press the Windows button, I think maybe. This is talking from a keyboard, but
There we go.
Okay, from a keyboard.
yeah.
Because I have my.
We got to be able to map that to the M1 or M2 buttons.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. So I am at 70% right now.
Wow, that's not bad.
No,
How long have we been at this? Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of stuff, and we haven't been like maxing it out,
Yeah, I mean, we've had the device on for about an hour and a half.
So, freaking
I'm testing
mumbo jumbo.
I'm testing 3DS right now, and it's really good. So you can
Is
do
it?
3x
Wow.
resolution, which is about the max that the screen would be able to handle anyway, and every game is playing full speed.
Are you
I'm
in
not
Citra?
doing any configurations or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, Citra.
I will. Majora's Mask, I'm sure runs fine, Garrett, but I will load up Paper Mario because I know that one has visual glitches. So we'll check it out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
God damn, this intro is long.
Mario Tennis is a good one too to check out because that one always has glitches too. And that's not really the Steam Deck's fault; it's the core and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, and the comments are talking about battery life, this versus the Odin. I mean, Odin definitely is going to stomp on the Steam Deck for battery life. There's no question about that.
Yeah, no.
Except
But-
in Windows. Windows is not so great.
Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
that was pretty disappointing because it seemed like the processor was clocked all the way up at all times.
Yeah.
okay.
And there's an issue too where if you plug it in while it's powered off, it will turn on. Like there's no way to charge it while it's powered off.
Yeah.
Even if you turn it off while it's like power plugged in, it'll turn itself right back on as soon as you turn it off.
What?
Yeah. So there's no like you basically have to leave it in sleep mode all the time.
Is there any further development happening for the Windows build, or is that sort of just left to people to figure out?
Yeah.
I have no idea. That's a Thor question.
Well, I'm sorry. What'd you say? I was distracted.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
What'd you say? What'd he say?
He was asking
I'm
if
just-
there's going to be further Windows development.
I'm just
on
wondering
that
if there's
build.
going to be, there's going to be optimizations coming that you know of.
For Win Odin, yeah, there's a couple things that are missing. Things like fan and LED control. I know TJ was talking about making an actual app for that. But
Okay, all right.
it's
good.
kind of it's not like Android where you have to reflash the operating system every time you blah blah blah, right?
That's
it'll,
good. Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be a little thing that you can install after you have it
Good.
installed. So
incremental.
yeah,
Good.
incremental
Okay,
updates.
Yeah. Good.
All right, so I'm gonna go to Paper Mario, and then we're gonna get out of N64 and maybe try some standalones. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Let's ratchet it up by playing Ratchet and Clank for PS2, or else.
So Kyle just made a comment about streaming in the Odin and stuff, and that's something I've kind of been thinking a lot about. It's like I have the Aya Next, which is like a $1,400 thing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the Steam Deck and stuff to be able to play PC games, and it's amazing. But streaming is like not so bad either. You know what I mean? Like that is a
Yeah.
viable option if you already have a PC and things like that. You
Yeah.
know. And so
Yeah.
is it worth $1,000 to have the game on your machine versus streaming it and having that latency? Like that's it's kind of crazy like to think about.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of luck with the game streaming yet. And it's my damn fault because I have a serious ultra wide monitor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't scale down the internal resolution. I have to manually set the resolution on my PC for right now. To, 1280 by 800, which it's gross, but because I can't really set it up as like a second screen or anything yet.
Gotcha.
So when I go to stream games from my Steam library, like I tried Monster Hunter Rise, and it came out in full 21 by 9, but on the Steam Deck screen. So that's not as intuitive as I had hoped. I'd hoped that it would render it internally at maximum resolution for the Steam Deck, or be able
Yeah.
to set it, but that's not a thing yet.
So one crazy thing is I was messing around with the Steam Deck while I had the Odin. I was working on that one as well, just kind of maximizing my time.
Yeah.
And it asked me on the Odin. Actually, I'm sorry, it was on the Aya Neo. I was on the Aya Neo, and then I had the Odin up, and they were both running, Windows. And they both had Steam open, and it said on the Odin, it said, "Hey, do you want to stream from your Odin to I'm sorry, from the Aya Neo to the Odin?" And so I was streaming from one handheld to the other, and it was working okay. I don't have the best internet, but I thought, that's kind of interesting, you know what I mean? So you could do that on the Steam Deck too. If you were going to use the Steam Deck as a primary PC, you could also stream those games to another device at some point if you wanted something smaller to play around with. So
handheldception. That's
Paper Mario running really well, 60 frames, super stable.
dude. I wouldn't expect any issues out of this game on this hardware.
I know. Last
I wouldn't even
one
think to
you
try
said
it.
Mario Tennis had some glitches.
yeah,
Just
but
toss
I
that in
mean,
real quick.
it's
Or
going to
no?
happen regardless. Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm. It's a core issue. It's not an issue with the game or with the device.
What
So yeah, if you
You'll
run
see
this
up at
ROM,
the top left, there's going to be like weird shadows and stuff. It depends on what core. Mupin has different issues than Parallel does, basically, but neither of them. To be honest, I've never played this game on the Nintendo 64. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but it doesn't look right. So once you're in a match, I can tell you which issue you're going to have.
I've never played it either, so I'm
I
gonna,
I opt for the parallel. I always opt for the parallel core these days.
Yeah.
For nearly all 64 games. I don't know. It just seems like it's more stable.
Yeah. So you are getting some dips there, down 54, 52.
Yeah.
Oh, so it actually looks really good. The shadows are correct. And then you're not having the weird shadows in the top left, too. It actually looks... I'm surprised.
I'm surprised that you're getting any FPS drops. And I know you were right, because it's probably the game itself mixed with the core, but...
Yeah. It looks smooth now. It might just be, the first couple times when you do it gets to like the replays and stuff, it's usually a little weird.
And we're upscaling this beyond 800p, right? Just a little bit?
Yeah, just
yeah.
a little bit.
I think it's at 960.
Okay. Yeah. Looks smooth. I don't know.
Suck it, Luigi. Freaking Ouija playing games with me. Oh, he got me. All right, I hate this game now. Let's see what's next.
Hey, thanks, Mosquito. That's good for people to know. He's talking about changing the resolution to match the streaming client.
Yeah. All right, so we're out of RetroArch.
All right.
What should we
Standalones.
Standalones. Let's go. I don't have a lot in the way for standalones right now, just Switch games. So
Switch games it is. Do we be dangerous?
Do it.
Russ from Retro Game Core is not involved in any way, shape, or form with what's about to happen.
Let's load up. We can load up Crash Bandicoot, right? That won't get us done.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And Ikaruga. I will go ahead and say that Metroid Dread runs extremely well, and so does Triangle Strategy. Breath of the Wild is about half speed. I would say for Skyward Sword HD that there were some dips, but otherwise it ran pretty well. I was pretty impressed. So,
well, I want to see just literally anything. So this is news to me.
literally anything.
Literally anything.
The nice thing about like Yuzu and Cemu and stuff like that is that the installation instructions are pretty good on their websites. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
RetroArch is a pain in the butt to set up and stuff, but these more modern emulators, they've done a really good job with the documentation.
things are definitely less painful than they used to be.
Yeah.
None of you saw anything, all right?
I saw nothing.
You didn't
Nothing,
see
man.
anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Can't see nothing. Actually, I did not see what just happened because I was on another tab. What did happen?
Nothing.
All right, nothing.
I can't remember how I set this up before, so it scanned my games.
Yeah, so this is one of those, same problem here. So I would use your mouse instead of the actual thing itself.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point, sir.
Skeeto, don't be surprised if the stream ends abruptly before launching any Switch game.
Yeah.
And this is the same kind of issue when I press the open button, it wouldn't work for me. So I'm curious to see how it works for you.
Perhaps we won't market this video or any of its keywords with certain things.
Is it working?
No.
So then right-click on the folder you want. So go back one and then right-click on that folder instead. And then do it that way. Or if you go into the general user interface, you can go and actually like set it up so that you have to double-click in order to open something that...
Right-click.
Yeah, so
what now?
right-click on the folder you want to actually do, and then select properties. Or just select anything, basically.
Uh-huh.
And then cancel out of that.
And then hit open.
And then it should have the file or the folder named, and then you should be able to hit open.
That's weird.
Yeah. So you can change that by, because you just need to do a single click on that folder in order to like highlight it and then open it.
Yeah.
And it's just not working.
Well, let's see here. I wonder which game I should try playing.
Any of those homebrew games.
These homebrew games. All right.
Yeah, this new Switch Pro that they released is really cool.
Yeah.
What's funny is I actually bought an OLED Switch last week because they're now widely available. I just went to Best Buy and grabbed one. And so I'm going to do a video now and be like, hey, because my kids have an original Switch, I have a Lite. And so now I'm like, okay, which one is worth it? If you're just now getting into it. I know there's all sorts of videos about that already, but hopefully I'll have a different take on it.
Ooh. That sounds titillating. I don't know. But anyways, people are being ridiculous in the live chat, and it makes me giggle. Thank you for all having a good sense of humor and also not threatening us. I appreciate that.
Everybody shut up. Keep your mouths shut.
Nothing's happening. Everything's fine.
Shit. Nothing. Don't. This is one thing that I have noticed. This stuff does take a while to load.
Thor, can you cover just the bad things on the screen with your hands? Yeah, that one. And that one. See?
Oops.
We're launching.
I let it peek out.
Often in Yuzu, there will be a game. If it's stuck like this and it gets all the way through and it's just doing this, then sometimes it's not compatible.
It's possible.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have noticed something odd, though. If I load 2 games with Yuzu and exit out, the second time I exit out, Yuzu just flips out and it crashes.
Dreamcast actually does that on RetroArch too. You can't load a second Dreamcast game. It'll crash.
Does it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
So you got to close out all the way and then start over?
Yeah.
Or just pick a new system.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
try
so Garrett,
different one.
I see in the comments Garrett was asking about Breath of the Wild on CMU versus Yuzu, and yes, CMU is much better from what I've seen in my testing.
It's like directly half speed. It's 14 or 15 frames per second. Swipe the load bar, it'll load. What? Does that even
Sure.
mean?
I don't know. Let's try it.
It sounds very confident.
Yeah,
What
you can
load
see
bar?
like, there's that second column
man.
in the game menu.
Here we go. Nope, it's not going.
Oh, it's actually
He's
holding
just
my
messing with you.
I know.
breath.
That's like
If you
There we go.
Yeah, you did get it.
Sometimes things have to be built and then
Look
rebuilt.
at that.
oh, I will.
It worked. It worked. I swiped the load bar and it worked.
Oh my God, Nil, you're a
There you
hero.
go.
I'm sorry I doubted you. I thought you were trolling us. See, yeah. All right. We got you.
See? All right.
Hey.
I'm going to undo my precarious situation here.
Oh.
Because I'm about to
swipe to perfection.
There we go. And I'm going to keep the volume low here. Oh, you know what I didn't do was set up the controller on this.
Oh.
Well, good call playing Crash, not one of the Mario games. Eames put a great meme in RH the other day. It was something about Nintendo being crazy and Mario being the face of it. And he's like, don't play Nintendo games. Don't emulate the Nintendo games. Also help me. And I was dying. I was like...
By the way, that setup that you saw there, that's all I've ever had to do here. That was it. Like, I didn't have to sit here and manually do anything. I just selected the...
You just selected the Steam version of the Crash trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I totally did. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You think we're all like going overboard with the jokes here, but there's a little bit of truth to every joke. I think Andrew Bernard from The Office said that.
So these are actual HD remakes, right? The Insane Trilogy?
Yeah. They're not,
I've never actually tried it.
Yeah, they're ground up remakes.
Yeah,
Here's the crazy.
This is running at 30 frames per second, like no problem.
Wow. You know, I can't play this game, Thor.
Why?
This is well,
Is it
Activision. Cheeto Steve. Don't even get me started. No. In this, when they were making this version, they wanted to make it slightly harder, so they made the jump when you like jump across ravines and stuff like a fraction less. So it's just a little bit tougher. I was pretty good at the original Crash Bandicoot, but this remake I just suck at. And no, it's not because I'm old and I have aging gamer hands, okay?
Yes, it is.
They made the physics. There's an interview. The developer's like, yeah, we made the physics a little bit more insane, just for fun, to make people a little bit.
I'll need you to cite that and put it in the description because I'm not having any issues here. So.
Well, yeah, because
no, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
No, yeah, because you have the hacked version. So.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
The version where things react.
You're on the first level, man.
I am.
Look at you. See, that turtle just got you.
Yeah, he did.
If you would have been on the original Crash, you wouldn't have done that.
I didn't know there were more levels than this one. That's funny.
That's a fact.
It's like me in that Golden Sun game on Game Boy Advance. Like, all I know about that game is there's a thunderstorm. And there's some boulder.
Let's see here. Monster Hunter Rise does not run well.
Mosquito says Spyro Trilogy Remake is also great, and in the new Humble Bundle. That is correct.
I almost loaded that one up, but then I didn't because I'm a dummy.
You're not dumb.
Was Astral Chain a Nintendo game? Did they make that?
I don't think so.
I think you're good there. I think that's like an indie-ish game.
Well, if it gets taken down, I'm blaming Stubbs. So.
Oh yeah, you blame me.
Yeah, that loaded. See, yeah, that must have been just the first time load, right, for it to build.
Yeah, it's possible. There's been other, the thing is when you're browsing the game list in Yuzu, they have those little color codes that say how compatible it is.
Yeah.
It's not working on the Linux version, at least on the Steam Deck. And so you can't see, but some of them will say like stuck on loading or whatever, or will crash at the title screen.
Yeah.
Dude, Azu has it right. Didn't the original game have an invisible? Yeah, always start swiping if it's not listening to you. Azu says, didn't the original Crash have an invisible bit on the ledges? Yes. I want to say yes because that game I was good at. And so whatever it is, yes, that game was better.
I literally have my arms stretched to the maximum to keep them on.
Aging gamer hands. I smell a new channel on the Discord.
We already have
that.
Yeah, it's called Backlog.
Yeah, it's the Backlog channel. Yeah.
All right, so we're running slow here. We're running about 15 frames per second.
Yeah, how do you feel about the D-pad and the face buttons? Do they feel really extremely on the edge, like they're falling off the device to you, or they feel pretty comfortable?
They don't feel like they're falling off. I'm used to them being more like right here, right? Instead of
a little.
Yeah, but I think it's a small personal thing. So.
Well, do you feel like you might get cramped if you hit the B button a lot? Do you feel like you need to stick to a control where you use the X and the A more?
No,
okay.
I use tips, right?
Yeah.
I don't use the pads, so I'm not reaching as far, I don't think.
Okay.
So about whopping 4 frames per second for Astral Chain.
All right. I don't even know what Astral Chain is. I need to look that game up.
It's a good one. It's an RPG. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah. It's made by Platinum Games.
Yeah. So I've shown off that stuff. I've got a couple Steam Deck or Steam games downloaded now. We should check those out real quick.
Yeah, sounds great.
This little fan just kicked on pretty hard with Astral Chain.
Yeah, how loud is the fan? Can you put it up to the mic for a second?
I would say it's louder than the Odin, but
can you hear that?
It's high pitched.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah, I hear that right now.
But it doesn't like bother my ears.
It has that whine to it.
I'm always the worst judge of that when people ask, because honestly, I don't mind it when machines make noises. Like, it reminds me of them being a machine, and so I don't have any issues with fan noise or things like that. I don't know. It's just not something that bothers me.
I have issues with
like that
repetitive offbeat noises, like water drips and things like that. But I can listen to a CNC machine burring its way through titanium for 10 hours, no problem, and fall right asleep.
So this is nothing to you then? Just that little bit of machine whine?
No.
Okay.
No. Does that bother you?
Oh yeah, that's gonna get me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. I'm actually gonna launch these in big picture mode.
Dude, I had to get rid of my Gameforce Chi because of the high pitched sound it made, because there was no shielding for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it would squeal and almost like pick up like radio stations or something in the static it was making. It was too much.
What about like you had a Wi-Fi RG351P, right? Did you have crackling in it?
No, I never had a Wi-Fi one. I have the tools to make it to put the Wi-Fi into it. I still need to do that project, but we'll see. We'll find out. I've got the shielding though, so I got everything I need to make it hopefully be shielded and not have noise. Now, do I have the skills to actually do the project? We'll see. We'll see.
All right, so we're doing some setup here. Running install script, Microsoft DirectX for Windows.
Yeah, that can take some time.
Interesting.
It's Cuphead time.
I'm really impressed with the battery life right now, because not that I've been actively playing a lot of games, but I've been screwing with it a lot,
You've been having fun, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been having fun with it. And
it's got to be running faster on this NVMe drive than it was on the EMMC.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it's probably a little bit better experience all around. Garrett says the smoke alarm battery beep. Yeah, that drives me insane. Dude,
yeah, that one hurts me. I have a buddy who listens to the podcast, so he'll hear this. It took him like 6 months to change his fucking smoke alarm battery that we could hear while we were playing 14 with him, and we yell at him get a 9-volt. I will. I'll order it. I'll order it on Amazon. No, you won't. Go get it right now.
He's not doing it out of spite. He's just doing it out of spite at this point. I have a coworker doing the exact same thing, except he's been going like a year now. Every meeting, I just hear the beep, Beep. I'm like, Phil,
Phil,
I'm gonna get you a 9-volt for Christmas, Phil.
I'm gonna taser you with that 9-volt.
And he's like, I'll get it. And I'm like, how do you live like this?
Strike Suit Zero. I might have Strike Suit Zero.
That'd be cool. I will never get tired of the graphics in Cuphead.
Yeah, it's super nice.
I have
I love it.
a terrible habit of buying video games and not playing them. I don't know if you guys have that issue.
What are you talking about?
I just bought 123 games from the Ukraine bundle today.
Yeah,
during this thing. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just doubled my Steam library.
I already beat all of them while we've been talking. So yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, lock. Gotcha.
Macross. Macross like Picross? What is Picross?
Macross? No, Macross is
it's like a robot.
It's mecha
thing.
It's like Gundam, but older.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I'm not going to go into the Macross Robotech thing with Stubbs. That's
robots and mechs are the same thing. Apparently, the people have strong opinions about this. It started a whole debate for Game of the Month, which represent Game of the Month. Everybody, when it comes time to vote, make sure to vote for my game, Barbie Explorer for PlayStation 1.
Oh my god!
I put a lot of thought into it.
We are not in the Game of the Month channel right now, sir. This is a Wendy's.
Hey, people were asking me to please start the shilling the next time we were in a live stream together, so I'm fulfilling my obligation.
That's fair. So with the Steam, when you're actually in big picture mode, there's actually some cool stuff. Like the pads don't work at all for anything really that I've noticed. Maybe that's changeable with settings. I don't know.
Right. I think it depends on the game, but you should be able to set it to mouse mode. You know, there's all sorts of layers to it. It's
but
complex.
It doesn't actually suspend the games from what I've been able to see. Like the music is still going in the background, so there's no suspension. And so like the music goes, and yeah, it's still there.
Mosquito says to go open the overlay and then go to the right. You need to edit your controls.
Overlay.
The other side, like the QAM button. Yeah.
And Azu says Barbie's Game of the Year. That is correct. Although Mr. Choosh came in and nominated Barbie Horse Racer going against my Barbie Explorer. So now we have two Barbie games competing for the #1 spot. So everybody downvote that one, upvote the one I said. So.
All right, Bastion time.
Yeah, Bastion.
I haven't played this one in a long time.
Yeah, it's a great game. I played through the whole thing on an iPad, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
This is one it's still in my backlog. I love the art style. I watched that indie movie that was all about the making about it, and Supergiant Games, yeah, all about their struggles. I like the backstory. The art. He's just a kid.
No sweat mode.
Need subtitles for that. I can't read that.
I love the narrator in this game.
Yeah,
the
graveled voice.
He's talking to you.
Yeah, this runs 0 issue.
Thanks, Mosquito.
Steam button.
Steam button, navigate to the right. You can edit controls. In a world where you fix the controls,
imagine
one man.
World.
Starring Academy Award winner Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay. So that's where you can add the back buttons, the 4 back buttons. Okay.
Ah, nice. You
Yeah.
got M1, M2, M3, and M4. Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. How do I exit this mode? One man.
I gotta tell the.
One desire.
I'm gonna tell the game of the month
PS2
people.
games for less than $400.
Whatever you want, whatever your imagination conspires to give, we will do, and we will have. Barbie Explorer for PS1 will win Game of the Month.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
I'm gonna paste this video to the Game of the Month channel. And we're gonna get some shills in here. We're gonna see what's up.
Well, Bill's already in here. All right. What was the other one? Strike Suit Zero? Do I have that? Yeah, I have that.
Neil brings up a good point. He says, we're getting spoiled with devices like this and the Odin, where we're able to emulate all this stuff under $500. And it's a really good point, because a year ago, I used to get comments on all my videos that said, I just want something that plays PS2 and I'll pay whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there were so many people that would be like, I'll pay $800 to be able to play PS2. And now people are like, $300 for the Odin, it's too expensive. And I'm like, what do you want?
Stop it. Stop it right now.
I said, I posted in Game of the Month discussion, hey all, we're live shilling Game of the Month and taking over Thor's precious Steam Deck video. Join in the fun. Barbie Explorer for the win. Let it begin.
Let it begin.
Flatfoot, no, don't even start. Barbie Horse Adventure is no champion. That game is average at best. 2 out of 10. Wait, why?
That's way below average.
Yeah, below average. Like Russ
2
said.
2 out of 10 is pretty bad.
Yeah, really bad. Really bad. Get it out of here. Well, I have to say 2 out of 10 because Barbie Explorer gets maybe a 5 out of 10. But still the best Barbie game ever made. Bar none. They took Crash Bandicoot, mixed it with a little bit of Tomb Raider, and then Mattel's Barbie IP. What more do you want?
Not that game. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh,
well,
yeah, right. Gotcha. Yeah.
You can't have everything. I already gave you 3 things.
All right. So we're going to try out, what was the other one? Baldur's Gate? Does this have controller support or?
Yeah, I'm hoping you do one with mouse support so we can use the trackpads.
Mouse. Yeah, this is the mouse. Because this is point and click. The screen is really growing on me, by the way. I didn't care for the aspect ratio initially, but yeah, it's Kyle. I live in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, so 3.1 megabits per second, or megabytes per second, really, is about my max. So it's astonishing that I'm above like 2.5 right now. It's gonna pop. Oh, he's dead. They done did it.
The nice thing, if you do hit slowdown, is that it makes the game easier to play. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's more my speed.
Yeah,
this is looking great though. This is
awesome. And it actually looks really good on the live stream for once too. Like the colors were a little muted on the other ones, but I think because I have it set to like the white balance for the black, When things are darker, it
Yeah.
looks better.
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how good quality is coming through the camera, because you're using the webcam, right?
Yeah, I'm using a Logitech Brio 4K webcam right now.
Right, and we're messing around with the fancy DSLR, but there were some issues with it, and this, I'm surprised. This looks really good.
Yeah. I don't know how to set up. I've never played this game.
Just, you should be able to start a like a basic character without too much customization. If I remember. Yeah, there should be some pre-generated. No. Making me look like a butthole. Come on, Baldur's Gate. I guess you got to go through all the screens. Is any Baldur's Gate experts here? Import character file. All right,
there you go. Race. Human.
Sweet.
Because humans get extra stuff that you can allocate. I'm not going to play this game, really, so fighter. Berserker. Alignment. Chaotic good. The mouse controls feel really nice, by the way. Go standard roll.
This is a good game to test because it's heavily mouse based.
Two-handed weapon style. There's a lot of options, y'all. Oh, here we go. All right. Mosquito. On-screen keyboard. Go.
Mosquito, we need you. One man.
One keyboard.
If you hold down the Steam button, it'll bring up an overlay and it'll tell you what all the hotkeys are. There might be one for on-screen keyboard.
Steam plus X.
There we go.
Hey. Name him Grognock.
I name him Thor.
Oh, that makes more sense.
There you go. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, y'all.
It's looking pretty neat.
All right, let me move my hand.
Can you tap the touchscreen? Does that also
Yes.
do stuff? Can you? That's how I play, on the phone. Or on the tablet. Nice.
It's a little awkward, but you can totally use this touch thing. All right, let's see
What about yeah, try something else. I was gonna say, does joystick work to control your character, or no?
No.
Probably not.
No, that's a touch game.
That's a touch game. What's something a little more demanding?
Probably Strike 2-0 would be a little more demanding.
All right. You got Street Fighter 4 downloading.
Yeah, I changed it to Strike 2-0.
Swipe it over to Strike. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. You know, I really admire your spudgers there.
Oh,
nice off-white color.
Yeah. Those are the
Yeah,
only
I
ones
gotta get some of those.
that are left in my kit that aren't trashed. So
Is that from the iFixit kit?
no, I don't use the iFixit kit. It's not my thing.
Not just
Yeah,
not
Kyle,
your thing.
I forgot about that. That's actually a setting. That's something I have to do in the PC version a lot. Is mess with my downloads. Allow downloads during gameplay. So that's
Yeah.
actually a setting that you can change.
Which that will drain your battery faster for sure, but for this, it's necessary.
I also think it's funny that they have a pair Steam Link button right here.
Does anybody still have a Steam Link?
I still have a Steam Link. I'd never use it, but
Wow. Yeah, I know. I had one for a long time, but it was great with the Steam controller. It was cool. I remember playing Witcher 3 for the first time with my Steam Link and Steam controller and being like, wow, this doesn't work very well. But
that's not what I thought you were going to say.
No, I walked immediately back to my computer and played with the mouse and keyboard.
I don't care for the non-stock keyboards. This one's it's just white. That's it. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you get it?
No, I don't. I don't get it because I don't have a freaking Steam Deck to play around with and fiddle with and take apart and touch. Come on, Gabe. Give me my Steam Deck. I need it. I don't really need it. I have plenty of other things to keep me busy, but I want it.
But I want it really bad.
But I want it really bad right now.
I am starting to get used to the interface a little bit more. I do still think that it should launch to your library, or have a setting to do that.
Yeah. Make it simple.
I like the digital keyboard theme from the Points shop. What's the Points shop? I haven't heard of this. Have you guys heard of this? Point shop?
I'm thinking it's like, how you can gain like Steam points for like buying games and unlocking things. Maybe that thing. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that. Because I never get to actually play my Steam games. I just buy them.
I just spend tons of money on them.
I love it when it says like total time played, 1 minute.
Yeah. It was linked in that keyboard page you were on. Well, keyboard. There we go. Visit the point shop. Oh, here we go. Okay. How many points do I have? I have almost 20,000 points. I'm not buying any of these, I don't think, but I do have almost 20,000 points. That doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Rainbow. Nice. Be something for Opus right there, or Choosh. Great.
I got dropped, but now I'm back.
Welcome back.
Wub.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm
almost done testing Dolphin on my end.
How's it going? Anything
pretty good.
Bad?
Some Wii games are got some slowdown,
Okay.
Like Mario Galaxy and stuff. And I think it's just a matter of going in and, presenting EFB textures and all the other things that I can toggle. Yeah. But I can't get to a lot of those menu settings. And so, it's just, I don't have the time to, it'd take me 2 weeks to do all that kind of stuff. So,
right.
I'm just going to have to just present it as it is. A lot of these games do work perfectly out of the gate, but others aren't perfect.
Have either of you Steam Deckers tried to stream with the Steam Deck? Garrett's asking.
I haven't. I've heard it's supposed to work really well.
I'm sure it
like
should, right?
The mic does a really good job of removing the game sounds during your stream and stuff like that. If you're just going to like straight up stream without even a microphone, you know, it'll use the inbuilt mic.
Huh.
And there's no doubt in my mind too that Bluetooth setup on this stuff is really easy as well for
probably going to be good. Yeah.
Bluetooth mics.
I have done Bluetooth audio. I tested it and it was amazing. Like I just AirPods, you know, I just grabbed AirPods and took 2 seconds to set it up and they were great.
Good.
And so
nice.
Totally awesome. Like I said, very travel friendly.
Good.
Right. Travel friendly. I like that. Everything's built in. You can probably do like a lot of casting or streaming from the device, or do some Twitch streaming even. Use the microphone. Does it have a camera on it built in somewhere?
No.
You could has a USB port though, right?
Yeah.
USB-C and SD card slot. So USB-C, so it does C to HDMI, right? And then
you can
SD card slots down here on the bottom.
You could plug in like a little webcam and kind of it'd be so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Does the right analog stick feel better for aiming on FPS games than the Odin? Because it's so much taller, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it has more physical travel, so it feels more precise to me.
It doesn't feel like a compromise. Like that's probably my best way of describing it. Like I did Doom Eternal, played quite a bit of it, and I never once thought this could be better. You know, like I did think that with the Aya Neo, it was close. You know, but the lack of like having solid grips on it, I was like, this is great. But as soon as I held the Steam Deck, I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be. You know.
Right.
But what about the retro power?
I think it's going to be worse than the Neo. I haven't really played it, but
I'm
All
sure.
Right. Strike Suit Zero. Here we go.
Okay.
Also, Jay to the Bell just said he played all the way through Halo 4 on his or on theirs, and it was a great experience. And yeah, I totally agree. Like, yeah, I think it's really, really nice.
Strike Suit Zero just closed. Did y'all see that?
Maybe you need to install some.
Try forcing that compatibility thing. See if that'll work. You go into the cog on the right and then do manage or something like that.
Wait, is this game
properties?
Is this one a deck verified game?
Yeah, and just try the experimental one and see if that works.
But is this a deck verified game, or is it like a yellow status game? Maybe.
I don't know. You'd have to go back to the main library, and it'll show you.
That compatibility layer is a couple gigabytes.
Oh, geez. Sorry.
Oh,
no, don't worry.
All right.
No,
actually.
It's only 400 megabytes. Never mind.
Good.
Or 600 megabytes. I don't know, man. It keeps telling me different things.
I'm finally
doesn't know what it
scrolling.
wants.
It doesn't know what it wants. I'm finally scrolling through all these games in the Humble Bundle just to see the scope of what's in here.
It's pretty impressive.
It is. Yeah, there's even Brothers, which is a great co-op game.
Oh, I've been meaning to buy that game for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Now I own it. That's great.
Yeah, you do. I know. I bought this too. I don't even know what I own. That's awesome. Oh, there's a bunch of like D&D rule books. That's cool. Army of Darkness comics. What? Automate the boring stuff with Python is included.
Wow.
Wait. It's not just games in here. Oh my god.
I think they had the first edition of the first book of The Walking Dead in there or something like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. And a whole bunch of other stuff that I've never heard of, but that's okay. RPG Maker VX is in here, dude. That's awesome. I always aspire to say I'll be a game developer one day, and RPG Maker is my way.
How much heavier does it feel than the Odin? Let me grab my Odin.
It even comes with Shampoo's Photo Optimizer 7. So there you go.
The Odin is significantly lighter, obviously, you know.
Yeah, the Odin's like 350-ish grams.
Oh,
and the
you measured them, didn't you?
Yeah, or maybe it's closer to 400. And then the Steam Deck is 675. So
yeah, I felt about twice.
Quite a big difference.
Here's a little sneak peek for people that care. I've been working on Lineage.
Shh. It's a secret. He has been, though. He showed me the other day that it booted, and I was like, what? What? That's madness.
Super Hot, Skatebird, Baba Is You. Good stuff. Yeah, I got Root. Actually, Root was actually pretty easy once I completely manually rebuilt the partition table for the damn thing, which took forever.
Kyle wants to know all about it.
All about it. I grabbed the whole ROM and then not even a custom kernel. It's a custom bootloader. It's a fixed bootloader that allows you to flash, but Odin is already trebled, so you're able to flash GSIs to it, which stand for generic system images. So you're able to should be able to load Android 8 through 13 on it, technically, and all the Lineage variants that you want. I prefer 17.1 because it's the best one for retro gaming. But it'll be good.
It'll be real nice.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to know is the battery going to be affected at all? Maybe we'll get more battery life.
No, the only thing that the battery would be affected by is the performance mode stuff, really, right? And
yeah,
how big is the Odin ROM? It unpacked, it's like, how big is the Odin ROM? Packed, it's like 3.5 gigabytes. But unpacked, it's a little larger than that.
It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be great for people to have a different option from the stock OS experience. If they maybe want something super clean without all of the extra baked in stuff, if they don't want the Odin launcher, any of that stuff.
The stock ROM is 13 gigabytes unpacked. So,
yeah.
And Lineage will be about that too.
Yeah. Thor basically didn't sleep for how many days was it? 3, 4?
It was about 3.5 days.
And you were talking to Russ and I and just look at this. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, and we were working on
the
Win Odin guide and all that stuff.
The Win Odin.
So. Well, Mosquito, it is nice, but AYN has not been, they've not been helpful, if I'm going to be honest with you. They just take a really long time to get back to me about stuff, and so far they're not interested in open sourcing the kernel or honestly the bootloader. The bootloader came from a different source that I'm not going to disclose readily, but yeah, they're not terribly helpful right now.
We're working on stuff now. Retroid, you could also give a source. That'd be cool. That'd be chill.
Yeah,
fine. Poor Turtle.
Yeah, it's almost
he's been working.
like it's almost like Retroid and AYN have the same person developing the ROMs or something. I don't know, just from how little source I'm able to get. I don't know.
Conspiracies are afoot.
Conspiracies. Man, this is doing stuff. Hopefully with these compatibility layers and stuff like that, it's a one-time only download or a much smaller download in the future once you get this stuff installed. Box
Kyle
86.
wants to hear the X-Files theme song.
Box 86 and Box 64. I haven't heard about that in a while. Yeah, with Root, I'm sure, with BusyBox and all that stuff, all that background. Taki secretly develops all of them. Yeah, I can confirm that it's actually Taki doing
that
the
is
whole
correct.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
he actually builds every single Retroid and Odin by hand, like Santa Claus.
That is correct. I've seen it.
But only no elves.
That's
It's
the
just
fact.
Taki. That's why it's taking 8 months for people to get their Odins.
The elves do all the shipping, and they're not very good at it. That's
Right.
why everything
They're
takes
not.
so long.
They get really confused. They're not used to it.
We need to tell these elves just to get to work. No breaks.
No break.
No bathroom breaks.
Oh, hey, there we
Make
go.
Odin. Hey.
So it looks like they have a lot of compatibility stuff. That's cool.
Nice.
Strike Suto Zero.
Ooh.
And by the way, that's how you would load up the Wii U emulator. You would basically put the Windows exe file, like everything, on your Steam Deck, and then you would load it in as a non-Steam game, and then you would force a compatibility layer, and then that'll allow you to play Wii U games.
Cool.
Nice. So this thing basically does it all, is what I'm seeing so far. I have not seen it stop with anything.
Steam Deck does what Nintendo don't. How about that?
Huh. I like
got
it.
the meme.
You did get to meme.
And again, I'm not good at this because I'm not, like, it's 3 feet away from me with my head up.
I want to see the screen compared to Russ's screen. I would really love to see that matte look versus the glossy.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I really do like the matte look here.
You do?
Just
Okay.
from the lack of reflections, but it is terrible in direct sunlight.
I was wondering, yeah. There's got to be a downside there. I mean, this looks really crisp. It looks really nice and better quality than I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
And I was
happy with it.
ready. I was ready to pounce on the Odin and just shut it down. I mean, not the Odin,
The Steam Deck.
Freudian slip. The Odin as well. I was ready, but it impressed me. But the
Well,
Steam Deck,
Keep in
yeah,
mind,
I was ready, especially ready.
after our big live stream that we did, Stubbs and I were talking because we always talk a little bit after we do stuff. He started talking about how sad he was that the Odin was that good.
Yeah, it's true. I was legitimately, the first time I was been legitimately depressed from a retro gaming handheld was after I used the Odin, because it was so good that it's like, all right, this is taking some of the fun out of the hobby, because, like, what's the point of owning a lot of these devices anymore? And I've since come around since then and realized, like, every device has its own charm to it and its own kind of flair that's going to be fun for a certain type of content. And the Steam Deck too. Yeah, technically, if you own the Steam Deck, you're probably don't need to own much else. You don't need to own probably a Neo or even an Odin or anything else. But ergonomics, portability, like you're not gonna pick it up as easy as you could like a RG351P.
No.
Or a V90. You know,
if you were going on a serious car ride, right? Or maybe even an hour on the train, or an airplane, like going to Hawaii or Japan or something like that. This is what I would take, honestly.
Just if for the one device, you would take this.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on how I was feeling. If I wanted to play modern games, if I was playing like I don't know, God of War or something like that, then I would do this. If I wanted to, because it'll still do what the Odin does, right?
Oh yeah,
but it doesn't have the portability. It doesn't have the battery life that the Odin does.
The battery life,
and the screen's nicer. So, I mean, the Odin screen is nicer to me, just because of its higher resolution. What do you say?
Yeah. Oh, he's like, that's why you've been looking for a 3DS and a PSP Go lately, and he's right. So I've lately. People probably maybe notice, maybe not, that I haven't been on a podcast. I haven't really been around as much making content in the last month or so since the Odin stuff, because I'm like, I need to reevaluate a little bit here. And I'm trying to get into some other stuff. I'm trying 3DS, like buying a 3DS and hacking it, learning how to do that, like a PSP Go and all that. And that's been a lot of fun. I got a dual IPS screen 3DS, which is really neat. I traded a phone for it, and that's been a lot of fun. It's just different, it still runs RetroArch and stuff, but just playing 3DS games on it is a lot of fun. Like the feeling of having an actual stylus. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I forgot what this is like using the stupid 3D effect. I'm like, this is like a cool little fun device. Like Majora's Mask with the 3D effect on is dumb, but it's kind of cool. So there's other things out there besides just having the biggest, baddest emulation device.
Raven. Yeah, I'm still streaming. You know how this goes, bro. Kyle said, but those touchpads on the Steam Deck, Odin can't touch that or even the rumble. Is there rumble with this game? Yeah, there's rumble with Strike Suit Zero. It's the rumble in the Steam Deck
rumble
is excellent. All right, it's the best. It really is. Do you think so, Russ?
What's that feel like?
I do. I think it is better than the INEO. It's a little more precise. Like the INEO has rumble, but it's hard to explain. It's just kind of buzzy,
Yeah, it's because not only do they have the rumble with the Steam Deck, but they also have really, just really solid haptics in general. Like when you're using the touchpads and you click them and stuff like that, like normally you don't notice it, but when you're actively using something that's clickable, then you feel a rumble. There's a haptic there that happens. So it's really good. The trackpads work just like touch, but they're clickable. That's all. Let's see what else.
Do you already mention how the Odin Rumble compares to it?
Oh, I mean, Deck Rumble crushes it.
And by crushes, you mean like it's stronger or it's more nuanced?
It's a more precise feedback, right?
Nice.
Where Odin feels like the micro spinner rumbles,
Yeah.
The little spinner rumbles. This feels like it was designed. Odin's like they built it and went, oh, we want to put rumble in it, right?
Yeah.
And this was like this rumble has to be an experience. How about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
I like that.
Yeah, the Odin is the Odin's like the device just honks at you every once in a while. It's like honk. Okay, thanks.
And you can see it on the motherboards too, because they are on the daughter boards, I think actually was where they were. They were going to do dual rumble on the Odin, and the motherboards actually, or I'm sorry, the daughter boards actually had spots for the rumble on them, right?
Yeah.
But then they just put in the little single teeny tiny rumble underneath the heatsink. So I don't know.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to trying it out. I'm still a fan of my GPD XD Plus for doing trips. That's what I brought with me on the airplane. For me, still that clamshell is just really nice to have. Played a little Rayman on 64. Got to get through that for the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd take a Steam Deck on a plane or on a train or by a boat or under a moat, but I would definitely. I need to have one in my hands and to make that decision.
Steam Deck.
It's still in the end. I still might be clamshell.
If you're gonna, how about this? If you're gonna dock a handheld, dock a Steam Deck, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like
we need a dock for this thing. Where is the dock?
Yeah, it's weird, and I'm a little surprised that they put the USB-C port on top. You know what I mean? Since it does so much.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
But no,
we'll see.
I will say though, if I was to dock one, I would rather have the INEO. It's Windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it way more like if you're just going to use it as a computer, that's going to be a better fit.
Yeah, but
that's not worth $1,000.
No.
Yeah, for the price point, yeah. Plus, we can install Windows on the Steam Deck, right?
You can, but I heard
but
the GPU driver is bad right now, right?
Well, right now, but I mean, it's a software thing, right? We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, and that like we were talking about earlier, they push out updates almost every single day, for the Odin, or not the Odin, for the Steam Deck right now.
For the Steam Deck, they're going fast on it. That's really good. It compared to something like Retroid, which is a little slow. We've been waiting for that 0.8 update for a couple months now, and now that it's here, some stuff's broken. Blah 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 blah. We won't get into it, but we'll talk about that on the podcast tomorrow
we'll
night.
Talk about it tomorrow, but it wasn't as refined as I expected. The Retroid update.
Bricking some devices, and it'll all be fine. It's not good.
Supposedly they fixed that already.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'm still a shill, but it's making it tough lately.
How long are we? 4 minutes. All right. This is going to be probably our last game for the night, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to lose steam myself.
If anybody wants to see any features or anything like that. So many Steam puns. If anybody wants to see any features or anything like that, let me know like right now while this is finishing it up, and I'll show it.
Is there an antivirus on here? Can you open it up and show me? Okay.
No. It's
That's good. You know what? A+. You got my seal of approval.
Yeah, it's OG Street Fighter 4, not Ultra. And there is actually a reason why I'm installing this one. I installed Windows on Odin, right? And nothing I could do could get Street Fighter 4 running. Ultra, however, runs. So this is just kind of a proof of concept to myself. I spent a ton of time working on it.
No antivirus needed.
No.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's all I needed. That's all I needed to hear. I need a Steam Deck. Russ, what are you doing? I hear clicks and clacks, and you were still working
I'm testing Xbox right now, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw Fox have a guide up for that or something?
Yeah, he did. And he sums it up really well. Basically, most of these Xbox games are available elsewhere. And the few that are, like, there's no guarantee that they're going to be compatible with this emulator. And so I'm finding that now. I'm playing through Knights of the Old Republic right now just to do it. But, like I tried Dead or Alive 3. It was too slow. The original Halo was okay, but a little bit slow, too.
That's Xenia? No.
Zemu.
Zemu.
Not Simu, but Zemu, yeah.
Zemu, yeah.
Yeah.
Xenia almost runs a little bit faster, it seems like, for 360 games.
Right.
Zemu, I was running, what was I trying on there? I think one of the 007 games. It was just running horribly. And I got a 3060 in this computer. I don't know why it's so... It was 007 everything or nothing. It's not super far along in development, it seems like.
Yeah, it's
Emu.
It's neat, because you actually, when you load up the ROM and stuff like that, it boots up the original like Xbox logo and stuff, and it's just kind of like a little time machine,
It is
I always
cool.
prefer to have those boot screens and stuff. One interesting thing is with the PS2 one, if you turn off the fast boot, so that means it's going to show the PS2 like opening cinematic. Every time you open up the game or open up the emulator for the first time again, I don't know if this is because it's switching between the desktop and the gaming version of Steam or whatever, but it will take you to the initial setup. It'll say like, oh, what time zone are you in and all that stuff. And the first time around, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And the second time, I'm like, oh, man. Because it defaults at like Kabul or something like that. So no matter what, you're going to
you got to scroll through. And,
so.
I remember when Redream I think it was Redream that used to do that to you. Every time you launched up to play a Dreamcast game, you have to go through the Dreamcast BIOS and set the date. It was super annoying. Yeah, same situation. But it is neat having the original Xbox boot screen. In fact, you gotta go through and build your Xbox hard drive with Zemu.
Right. Yeah.
Which is it's an extra step, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because this is just it's like you're just playing an Xbox, It doesn't feel like you're playing a GameCube in the same way.
Doesn't.
So I do really like that.
For better or worse, you are loading up an original Xbox.
All right, Street Fighter time.
Kyle, emu moo.
Which is funny because in Australia, we call it the emu, like that big bird. They call it the emu.
Emu.
Threw me off. Yeah, because they put the U in there. Like I remember I bought some shoes and they were when I was in Australia and they were pumas, not pumas, and I was like, that's weird.
That is, I am disturbed by that. Have you tested the sleep mode? Mosquito asks.
Sleep mode.
I haven't, but maybe Thor or Russ has.
Yeah. It works well. I don't know about battery drainage, but it is super fast and responsive, and you can even put it into sleep while running an emulator, and it'll still like put it into sleep and everything. So it works really well. I just don't know about battery drain.
What in the world is this?
All right.
Is that part of the game? Oh, okay.
Oh my God! Games for Windows Live.
Never mention that. Never mention that evil in here again.
No, don't participate. Are you kidding me? I'm not doing any of this.
Oh, Mosquito. I thought Mosquito was joking about this. This is a real... Look at that nice Windows 7 look. That takes me back.
All right, here's the
Windows
big test.
Vista.
Whether or not Jade Empire is going to work.
Yeah, gotta have Jade Empire.
It almost never works. That's the thing, and so it'll be really interesting. I think it's available. You can just buy it on Steam nowadays. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, you can just buy it on your Xbox Series machine, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I played through this game. I bought the disc, and then it was backwards compatible with the 360 at one point, and so yeah, I had a really great time. Yeah, it even crashed Zemu when I tried to load it. So not gonna work.
Well, yeah, it's a particular game. That's one of those original BioWare games, isn't it? It's a Microsoft game.
It's BioWare.
But this thing runs. It runs perfectly, so I'm sure anything else would too, like this.
That looks great.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Blanca's just defined. Mosquito says this works better on SteamOS than on Windows. That's funny. Yeah. It looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
We don't have like an FPS counter running or anything, which
it's full speed. There's no doubt.
I mean, LTT was saying that, right, if you swipe from the right, you get that statistics menu you can just have on the screen at any point with a bunch of stats.
So Kyle just asked, how's the heat on the Steam Deck? I'm not even kidding. I hadn't even thought about heat until right now. Like, not even a thought in my mind. The USB hub that I have a USB hub connected to the Steam Deck, which is giving me HDMI out, and then it has my USB keyboard and stuff set up to it. That USB hub is 10 times hotter than the Steam Deck itself right now.
Well, I mean, I know that Street Fighter isn't like a super heavy hitter or anything, you know?
Okay, you can get to the FPS counter.
But it's not an issue.
You can get to it from the ellipses button, battery, and then advanced settings. Oh, the button beneath the trackpad on the right?
Yeah, this one. And then what? Advanced
Go to battery settings.
And then battery, and then advanced settings. Your advanced view, yeah.
Show performance overlay.
Nice.
I don't see it.
So right there, the scaling so go up more. Not the scaling filter, but the one above it. There's another slide menu.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a delay, so I can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, there's like a 5-second delay right now.
Scroll up, or it's going to the battery one. You're in the performance one right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you're in the battery one. So go up more, not the scaling filter. Go up more. It should be like a down right there. Performance overlay level.
Performance overlay. Oh.
So this will give you the whole spectrum all the way to the far right. But I think I do the third or the fourth one.
Yeah, I'll just do the third one for now.
Nice. There it is.
I mean, it's not dropping any frames.
That's great. Yeah, we still have 43% battery after how many hours now?
I mean, it's been 3.5 hours since I started
Yeah.
doing this. And not including the setup stuff that I did beforehand. Because I wasn't charging then either.
Yeah, were you at 100% battery when we started?
I think it was at like
Probably not.
94%, something like that.
Okay. How fast does it charge?
It's pretty fast. All right. That'll do her.
Whew, that was a marathon, man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thanks for streaming and showing all this stuff to us.
Of course. Yeah, when you hit that overlay stuff, it doesn't pause the game in the background at all. So there's no suspend.
Just keeps going.
Yeah, Kyle, exactly. This is, installing, playing, tinkering, screwing around, testing emulators, all that kind of stuff. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Russ, thank you so much for being here with us, man. And Stubbs, thank you for being here with me while I geek out really hard on new hardware. Make sure you guys head over to Russ's page as well. Like, follow, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. You know, follow him on Twitter, Retro Game Core. And check out his Patreon. RH also has a Patreon. Make sure you check that out too. Patreon.com/retro handhelds if you like our content. And thank you all so much for being here. And thank you all the future viewers for checking us out and sticking with us this long. We had a ton of fun setting this up, and we're going to keep doing stuff like this. We've got the BRB Gaming Podcast that we'll be recording tomorrow. That'll be released this week. And we'll be talking about Steam Deck. We'll be talking about a few different things. Stubbs and I haven't done a one-on-one lately, so we're going to show up. So
we got lots to talk about.
We do.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.